Yes, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the live phone in. And we're in a good mood. We're not too optimistic. We're not getting ahead of ourselves. It is only Morecambe, but we've won a game. It's the first time in ages we've done that. There are still a couple questions that do need to be asked. I do think that game was a game of fitness, and towards the second half, the difference between League Two fitness and Premier League fitness just showed up, and we just overran them in the second half. But the first half, yeah, not the best. But hey, we got 2 goals. We're through to the next round with the run of fixtures that are coming up. I'm gonna just try and take this win for as much as I can because we've won a game. It's the first time in ages. But I'm gonna get my first guest on. Who are we gonna go for? Yes, Craigo, what are you saying, man? Oh, you're on mute, G.
Hello, how are we?
There we go. What are you saying, man?
I'm all right. How are you guys? You good?
Yeah, I mean, second win in 8 games. We're not going to say it was the best win, but it was a win. Like,
But
I'm
we
just
aren't
going to
win the
take
FA
it.
Cup, though. We aren't going to win the FA.
I mean, we only need to go one step further than last time, and as long as Anthony Taylor doesn't ref a third FA Cup final in 4 years, I'll be good.
Yeah, I can agree with that one. It was straightforward, wasn't it?
Straightforward. I just think quality shown in moments, but for the first half, we weren't great. We weren't great.
I said it in my review. I kind of just... It was the wrong opposition to really cause an upset. And what I mean by that is, obviously, anyone can cause an upset. That's the point. But they are just outside of the playoffs. They are playing quite well in League Two. And as much as they look at it, they were very much there to let's park the bus, see what happens. And if we're in a position to nick a goal and it means something, then brilliant. But the second they went 3-0 down just after half time, us and them both just went, let's just not bother. They weren't going to score 3. They definitely weren't going to score 4. We didn't have to do anything more than we needed to. And it was just one of those ones that they'll live to fight another day. What they just didn't want is to get whacked 7 or 8 after half time. But I mean, what more can you do? It's just one of them ones, isn't it?
Yeah, I did think one issue that I do want to have a look at is we were struggling to find Werner and Havertz for long periods. It was another game where they were always finding themselves in space, but no one was keeping their head up.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a tough one because there was a few times where Havertz actually got in the way. There was a few times where Timo Werner got in the way. And I think it's one of those ones where if you eradicate how often they got in the way, then when the opportunity to find them comes round, you're not thinking, oh, fucking hell, it's him again. So I think it's just that little bit of a confidence thing, not necessarily on their part, but on the other players' parts to, I need to feed Timo there, or I need to give Havertz the ball there. Having said that, both of them got on the score sheet in their own different ways. So, it's not... It's still
How
a
do you
problem.
feel about Kai
not...
Havertz today as well? Playing further up forward. The high line, the low block kind of caused that as well. But you look very promising.
I would probably argue he was our best player.
Him or Hudson-Odoi? I can go for that.
Hudson-Odoi, I just wanted to see a little bit more from him, which sounds stupid because I know he scored, but there were so many times we were an outside and you're kind of thinking, just cut in and bang it. Just cut in and bang it. And he did it once or twice. I think he won a corner out of 1 or 2 of them. But you're kind of hoping just do a bit more. Although
so
it was very good.
A bit more ruthlessness from him.
Yeah, I wanted to really see him grab this game by the bollocks. And I know obviously that he scored, but I was thinking to myself, just go and get another. Just go and really show that you're too good for this level. Where it just showed like he was too good for this level, not he's too good for this level. If that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. On the basis of the performance, there's a lot of times I could look at it and I could say that I wanted a bit more. But we're going to be positive because there isn't really a lot else to be positive about over the last few games. One thing I do want to talk about, someone's pointed out, Fikayo Tomori, only 10 minutes today, didn't start.
I like Frank. I'm very much Frank in. As we know, we got into a very heated argument with other peoples of the Chelsea community.
By the way, what a stream, man.
Oh, I got so bored after a while. I can't lie. No, we got into a heated debate, and I am very much Frank in, and I very much think that Frank is the guy to take forward through this transitional period, or whatever you wish to call it. Having said that, this is very clear and obvious now. There is a problem between Frank and Tamori, because we semi knew about it about a year ago. We had heard rumours that maybe hadn't made their way out into the public, and now all of a sudden, against League Two opposition, he still plays Kurt Azuma.
Christensen injured as well.
Christensen being injured, I looked at it and went, okay, well, this is perfect opportunity, because we all knew Thiago Silva was never going to play. This is a perfect opportunity for Tamori and Rudiger. And let's be honest, there wasn't that much pressure against them, so they very easily could have both played and got minutes. To be fair, Tamori could have even got himself a goal the way he was starting to act when he did come on for the 10 minutes. He could have got
an assist to Giroud.
Exactly, yeah. You could have seen him really going forward and causing problems. And that's from a centre-back point of view. But the rift, or the supposed rift that is going on between Frank Lampard and Tamori, just really looks like it's real now, because maybe he's been a bit out of favour. He played for us I think they said in October or something like that, in a League Cup game or something. I can't remember when they said. Either way, that he played for us a few months ago, and you kind of think, maybe it's not. But the fact that we play against League Two opposition, he doesn't start, but then we'd already won the game, and he just still keeps Zuma on for another 30 minutes longer than he probably needed to. And you kind of think,
he was one of the final subs, wasn't he?
I'll be honest with you, I'd have taken him off first. Like I know what the
I wouldn't have started him.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if you were to have started him, he'd have come off first for sure. But yeah, no, you are right. And there was two things I wanted to kind of get across. Was, again, very much a Lampard in person. I don't know why I'm even having this conversation about Lampard in and Lampard out, but there we are. That's the current toxic climate that we're in. I don't know why he started Zuma and Mount. And although I know Mount scored, and look what happens, you're given the opportunity to shoot from 35 yards or 30 yards, and he does, and it goes in.
To West Brom.
Exactly. And everyone looks at it and goes, oh, well, where's that been? We haven't been getting an opportunity because it's been covering other people. That's the point I've been trying to make for fucking ages. He gets the opportunity, he bangs one in, and obviously it shows people what he can do.
For the most part, he sacrificed his game for the benefit of others.
Yes, completely. And now all of a sudden he was allowed to go and do what he wanted to do. Bang, hits back of the net. Is it
very interesting outlook on that?
Is he going to go and do that from 30 yards against a Liverpool or a Man City in the Premier League? No, probably not. But he can have a shot from distance that then leads to a corner, and we all know how good Chelsea have been from corners. Or it could be a shot against the goalkeeper that gets parried out and Timo Werner mops it up. Things like that. But you have to get in those positions. Right? Mason Mount has found this weird situation or scenario where he's not in those positions because he's covering other people. Having said that, he did play very well today. I was very happy with him, very happy that he came off and got some sort of rest, because you know that he's going to be pretty much the first name on the team sheet week in, week out, because he always gives you 100% effort. Always. But on the flip side of that, I'm really happy Mason Mount scored. Obviously, big Mason Mount fanboy, whoop-de-doo. Should he have played at all? Probably not, to be honest.
I'll be real. The first thing I thought when I saw the lineup was, why is Mason Mount starting again?
Well,
that's not even because I don't rate him as a player. It's like, bro, rest the guy, please.
Yeah, it was what the hell has Mason Mount got to do to get a rest, and it was what the hell has Tamori got to do to get a start. They were the two that just really baffled me. And look, the others I understand. I can understand Ziyech coming back from injury, wanting to get a few minutes under his belt. I get it. Maybe I would have started someone else, but I mean, he was very good today, to be fair.
Ziyech kind of kicked on a little bit in the second half, but the first half, he won all that. He still looks like he's coming back from that injury.
I looked at it and thought maybe you could have brought him on rather than start him, but it's one of them. But no, look, we won the game. That's the most important thing in these things. You got to win the game. You got to go through. We didn't do a Leeds and lose to League Two opposition.
3-0.
3-0. Yeah, so it's. I'm not going to overreact and say it's absolutely dreadful. It's just one of those ones. Maybe I'd have liked to have rested a few people, but other than that, I mean, I'm pretty chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Last question I'm going to say before we
Go on.
wrap up. What do you think about the style of play that we were playing, especially within the first half? Because it looked like we were going down to the same old avenue of crossing for the first 10 minutes. Then we
Yeah.
had Emerson doing the little in runs inside, which were actually helping us out a little bit. What were your thoughts on the first half, at least? Because a lot of people are happy with the performance, but because we were expected to beat them. But with the way that we were playing, there's still questions going around.
Yeah, I think we need to be a little bit more direct. And again, that's what I've said about Mason Mount. He shoots from 35 yards or 30 yards in a central position and it goes in, shock. But I understand why we move the ball wide and I understand why we whip balls in the box. I get it because of the opposition. They knew what they wanted to do. They had the game plan. They were going to send us wide. They were going to park the bus, 2 banks of 4 and a 5, and then one person running around doing all the legwork up front. They had a way they wanted to play, and the best way for us to get around it was to go around it and go wide. Basically, they were waiting for us to bring on Giroud, and they'd have tried to play a completely different game. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it. If we did that again against Fulham and Leicester in the next 10 days, I think both those games are, then maybe I've got a bit more of a problem with it. But we were waiting for the game to open up. It never did, but that was due to the opposition. Let's just not park the bus, but let's defend. Let's get ourselves through
They
this.
put everyone behind the ball, we can say. But
It's
League Two opposition. I don't blame them.
It's very situational. It's very much we have to do this and we are going to do it. And then we have to play with what's against us. If we're playing against Barcelona, they're not putting 10 men behind the ball. Do you know what I mean? So maybe different avenues open up. So yeah, it's just situational. I wouldn't read too much into it. But the Fulham game, maybe it's going to be a little bit similar because they're going to think, well, you know, maybe it suits our style of play better. But if we play like that, especially for the Leicester game, I'll be a little bit annoyed. Unless we want to change it up and maybe bring on Giroud or whatever. But I'm not too bothered about it.
All right, cool. Well, bro, thanks for jumping on, man. As usual, Craigo28 Football, Craigo28 Sports. If you guys haven't checked it out already, if you're about for the live group call, let me know.
Oh, no, I'm going to go and watch Tottenham throw away an FA Cup 4th round spot to Marine.
Oh, I'm watching this right now. It's a bit shocking. I saw Doherty nearly throw the ball out for a throw-in. It is bad, but yo, I'll chat to you later, man. You take care.
Cheers, guys. In a bit.
Bless. Right, we're going to move on to the next guest. There's one more spot in the queue now if you lot want to jump on, and there was a lot of people trying to get on. We'll get the next guest. Alex, what are you saying, man?
Yeah, Lewis, I'm not too bad. Yeah, I think I'd say overall, I'll say I'm satisfied with the result.
Yeah,
today.
I hear that.
You know, no more, no less. In the grand scheme of things, it's not. You know, it's not really going to change everyone's opinions on, you know, whether they want the manager in, whether they want him out, how we're playing and that. But yeah, it's good to keep the FA Cup tradition running. I think the last time we didn't make it to the 4th round was in '98. I think we lost to Man United 5-3.
Always United.
Yeah, so it's good to keep the little FA Cup 4th round run going. But I must admit, yeah, well, exactly. They haven't played since Boxing Day. I mean,
yeah, they had the Rona scare.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but yeah, I was a bit surprised by the lineup, to be honest with you.
Definitely, there was a couple surprises.
There's a couple. I mean, when you think about it, right, the players who played the most minutes this season, all positions of the amount, all 3 of them started.
Say those 3 names again. You just broke up.
Yeah, Werner's played the most minutes in all before today, followed by Zuma and then Mount.
And they all started this one.
Exactly.
Everyone's talking about Fikayo Tomori only getting 10 minutes.
Well, this is I will give you a quick update on that actually, because Frank's just told Simon Johnson, the reporter, that the reason he didn't start today was because they have a loan move lined up for him.
Oh, really? So they're not keeping him?
It doesn't look
Okay,
like,
good. I'm happy now.
That's
then.
what he's just told Simon Johnson anyway. But
Was he specific about what type of loan? Is it 6 months? Is it a season?
No, he didn't say. He didn't specify. But yeah, well, that's fair enough then. But why he came on the tour, I was a bit confused by. I mean, who's to say? Who's to say when he came on, he might not have got injured in the last 10 minutes. All it
Who
takes
else
is
would
one.
you like to see come on?
This is the thing, but I actually wanted Tino Andrin to start, right? Because
You want Andrew to start on the right, on the left?
no, I wanted him to start where I wanted him to start on the left. I was a bit surprised. I was a bit surprised Callum played, to be honest with you. But then
Really, Callum? I was thinking it was Ziyech.
But then no, I wouldn't have had him instead of Callum. But I mean, I think you're right. I would have had him instead of Ziyech as well. But when you think about I would have had Andrew out on the right, to be honest. Or
he was the only like youth player that I think would have actually played. Like Livramento or Soonsup Bell, I never would have thought they would have started. At the most, they would have come off the bench.
I mean,
but at least Tino's had experience. He's played a few games.
Well, exactly. I mean, I saw a load of reports earlier on in the week saying Soonsup Bell, Livramento, Henry Lawrence, all these. I mean, he was never going to put 10 youth team players out. Or
this is like his most important competition right now.
Yeah, well, in fact, it's the biggest chance we have of winning something this season.
Exactly. So we can't just go and throw 6 youth players out.
Yeah, well, exactly. But then you do have to ask, because I was reading earlier that Andrew, and apparently the club's received a load of loan offers from like lower Premier League sides, some Championship sides, and we're a bit reluctant to loan him because we have plans for him to get more minutes this year. Well, I don't see where. No, Tino Andrew.
Oh, okay.
And I don't really see. Well, I don't really see where his minutes are going to come from, Lewis.
Yeah, like Hudson-Odoi barely gets minutes.
No, that's what I'm saying. And before today, he hadn't played any minutes this season. So that's what this year. I mean, obviously he played 84 minutes against Krasnodar.
Yeah, he should have come on in the Everton game, in my opinion.
Well, exactly.
On doing instead.
Yeah. Well, this is what I've been saying. This is what I've been saying for weeks. But we'll leave that argument for another day before I get all the people in the comments coming after me. But yeah, that's all I can really say about the game overall. I was satisfied. It's not, in the great scheme of things, it's not that big a result. It's what I expected, to be honest with you.
Okay. Were you happy with the way we played then, overall?
This is the thing, right? Well, obviously the stats speak for themselves. I think we had 25 shots on goal or something. Like you were saying with Crago on the last call, you think in the first 10-20 minutes trying to get balls in from the side, loads of crossing or whatever. It's the thing, right? Because whenever Werner seems to play for the middle, we seem to keep crossing it to him. He never seems to find himself in that sort of central position to get his foot on the end of it. It's almost like we play opposite Giroud when Giroud comes on. After
repeat that last point. You just broke up a bit again.
Yeah. No, what I was saying was it's the way we play is a bit like it's a bit weird because let's say as Giroud plays, sometimes we're trying to play through balls to Giroud. We obviously know he doesn't have any pace, right? With Werner trying to cross crosses coming in from both hand sides. He's never really.
It's like the first time I've seen this, but it's with different strikers as well. I can even go back to Sarri's season where we did the same thing. We'd always play the ball to Giroud's feet, but we'd always try and cross to Morata. And it was the same thing. Like, we could do the same different thing for the others, and it will work 10 times better.
Exactly. This is what I've been saying, and because this is the thing, right? If you're going to play Werner through the middle, then he's not the sort of person who will get on the end of crosses, right? You have to play sort of in behind, get through balls and whatnot. You also have to remember, though, today, I know Dave obviously got the assist for Havertz's goal, the header. Normally, that's not his style of game, really. He's adapted to that sort of up, down, bombing back and forth.
Hmm.
Really, the players you want to play that sort of game are your Chilwells, your Reece James, getting those balls in from the side, which brings me on to another point, because people were saying last week and even earlier this week on the group call on your channel that there seems to be this myth going around that we don't have a creative midfielder. Well, two things I'll say about that. One, it's not
Kai
true.
Havertz.
Exactly. Kai Havertz is a creative midfielder.
It's not that we don't have a creative midfielder. It's just that we don't make any through balls.
But this is what I'm saying. People just seem to circulate this myth that we don't have creative. But then you want Reece and Chilwell to play. But then the role of Reece and Chilwell, that's where all the balls are coming from. Reece James and Chilwell down the flanks. You're getting them into the box. So you almost don't need creative midfielders as such. If you look at Liverpool right now, right? Best team in the league. Who has the most assists for Liverpool? Robertson. Why is that? Because all their crosses come from Robertson on the left-hand side and Trent. Liverpool.
But in that case, we need to start Olivier Giroud more because he's the only one that can do anything with those crosses.
Oh, Lewis, listen. If we start Giroud, I won't be complaining. But someone was asking me earlier, what do you think the front three will be against Fulham?
1-0 up.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, someone was asking me earlier on, what do you think the front three will be against Fulham? I think it's pretty clear Werner will play. The fact he brought off Werner and Ziyech at the same time suggests to me that they'll both be playing, which means Callum will be left out once again. Not surprising though, is it really? I mean, I don't know what more.
He should start. If he don't start, that's criminal.
If
He was our best
Hudson-Odoi
winger today.
Well, exactly. If Hudson-Odoi doesn't start against Fulham, then there's a steward's inquiry, I'm afraid, because the amount of times he's been snubbed this season, especially after having one or two good games when he's been given limited opportunity, I think it's a joke, to be honest. And yeah, fair enough. You can say, I wouldn't have started Werner personally, but you can say, all right, he got his goal. Who knows? That one goal might give him a little bit of confidence. Yeah, it's only Morecambe, but it's something at least.
Hopefully, it can become something.
Would I start him against Fulham? No, because you know what I normally say. Like, people are going to say I'm contradicting myself for what I said last week about but when Callum has one good game, he's benched the next. When you consider the amount of chances Werner's had this season, especially after dropping stinkers week in, week out, he still seems to find himself in there. Yes, he got his goal, but one game against Morecambe's not going to change my mind, right? Callum, for me, has to start. I think it's, people can say, well, who are you going to drop them? Pulisic or Ziyech? I'll say either of them. I personally prefer Pulisic, but if Ziyech plays, I won't complain. Then, this is where it gets interesting. Who's going to play through the middle? I mean, I don't know what you think, but...
Who could play in the middle? I want Olivier Giroud to start. I'd take... I'd put Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left, Olivier Giroud in the middle, and I'll put Timo Werner on the right. That would be my front three. Because I don't mind Werner as right winger. I think that's fine for him. It puts him in a more comfortable position 9 times out of 10 compared to on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll go with Giroud just because of the style Fulham play, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. I mean, that's another thing. I was a bit surprised Tammy didn't start today, actually, because
game kind of it felt like a Tammy game going into
exactly. It's like, surprisingly, he hasn't actually kicked the ball for Chelsea since Boxing Day.
Mad. You think maybe he might be one of those fringe players the Athletic was talking about potentially?
Well,
I think that's a loose term calling him fringe because he has played a lot of minutes for us.
Yeah, but you consider the form he's in at the moment. I mean, like I said last, I don't particularly rate the guy, but you've got to say that with the chances he has been given this season, he has performed.
In some games, I think the first few games of the season, like until the Spurs game, he was being brilliant. After the Spurs game, it's been a completely different Tammy Abraham, in my opinion.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. Like last week against City, you had both him and Giroud on the bench. They're both in form at the minute. It's like
Giroud, I can never understand him being benched unless it's to stop him playing continuous games because he's 34 years old. That I
Yeah.
can understand, but he barely even plays games before we can even talk about continuous games.
well, that's what I mean. And someone was saying on your call earlier on in the week about we need to play to Werner's strengths. No, we don't. The reason why Giroud has not really been given, I would say, a fair chance under Lampard's because he's not a Lampard sort of player. No one's saying, we have to adapt to Giroud's style of play. No one's saying, we have to. Last season, no one was saying, we have to whip balls in the air. We have to start playing in the air. It's not adapted to Giroud's style of play. So why do we then need to accommodate Werner? Because we spent £60 million on him.
No, but I feel like Werner's a bit more of a system player where you do have to play to his strengths.
Yeah,
You've
but
got
my
to be
point.
able to try and feed him balls in behind.
Yeah, but this comes back to my point earlier. Yeah, that's what we should be doing. But like you also said, we're not doing that when he's playing. When he's playing, we're putting the balls in the box, which he's not getting on the end of. I've seen countless times this season we putting balls in the.
But we do the same thing, I think, to nearly all of them. Giroud's the only one that gets low crosses.
Yeah, he does.
Tammy gets the same treatment with the long high balls up in the air, but he can't do anything with them because his aerial ability ain't good enough.
But that's what I'm saying.
He's 5'11", like
but this is what I'm saying. If the style of play we play is putting balls into the box, Reece James, Chilwell, whoever it is, then why isn't Giroud our first choice striker? I couldn't care less.
I don't know why.
I couldn't care less how much Werner cost. I said this to you last week. What a player costs is irrelevant. If he costs that much to start performing like you're worth 60 million, you know
exactly.
what I mean? I couldn't care less where he's come from, what experience he's had. If you're performing, then you deserve a chance in the team. Hudson-Odoi is performing at the minute. Why isn't he starting Premier League games? Because
we say we play players on merit, but we don't really do it.
Exactly. That's what he said. He said at the start, he's going to pick players on merit. Well, he hasn't done that, has he? Because these same players are saying pick on merit are dropping stinkers. Oh yeah, but you still get to start the next game because you're a household name. You cost 60 million, you cost 50 million. That's someone's price tag is irrelevant to whether they start or not. If they're not performing, you don't play. Simple as. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy for Werner, right? He got his goal today. I'm actually a fan of his. People think I hate the guy. I don't dislike him, but you can't say with your hand on heart that he's been performing to the best of his ability this season. And this debate always comes back to, was he better through the middle, through the left? Whether he plays through the middle or on the left is irrelevant. The chances he's missed this season have nothing to do with whether he plays in the middle or on the left. I was reading somewhere earlier, he's missed 8 big chances this season.
Yeah, but we know Werner to be that sort of striker from his Leipzig days, don't we?
No, you know him. You know him to sort of.
He's a high volume striker. He gets a lot of chances. He misses a couple, but one of them go in. Well, or maybe 2 was the case. But you know what I mean, innit?
Yeah. People knew before he came that he was going to miss chances, right? Then when you look at it, it comes back to this thing, right? Because this is why people criticise Tammy Abraham. Because although he actually has a decent goal record, that's why he gets criticism because of the chances he misses. When you're then bringing in a striker to sort of rectify that problem, we need a clinical striker. If he's not putting the ball in the back of the net, then you can understand why people have got an axe to grind.
Yep, I hear that. And to be honest, we should have known that about him when he was coming. Like, he's a quality striker, but he will miss a couple chances. The only thing that we can try and hope for is that maybe he builds a bit more confidence off this, but it depends on the system. We have to try and play somewhat to this guy's strengths. The Fulham game, we can't be crossing to him. Like, very should be low crosses.
Well, yeah, but that's what I don't know who's going to start in the middle. I can pretty confidently say he'll go with Werner and Ziyech, but I don't know. Will he play Werner through the middle or on the left? Who knows?
I'm hoping it's Giroud, Werner on the right, and Hudson-Odoi, but I know it's not going to be that.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's one.
But that's our best front three right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, if Hudson Odoi is definitely in the way he's performed this season.
Yeah, and
But-
Werner is still back on the right-hand side. He just
that's
the most he
fair
needs
enough.
to track back more. Fucking hell, that was a good free kick.
That's fair enough. I wouldn't personally start him, but I don't think he deserves to start based on the performance he's been putting in. And people could say, "Oh yeah, but he's been playing on the left." Look, the fact of the matter is, he's still playing it in the forward line. No matter where he plays, you should be putting in a shift. The chances he's been missing this season do not warrant him to keep starting game after game. It's as simple as that for me.
What about the chance creation though? Because at the very least, he makes a lot of his own chances.
No, that's true. It's funny you say that. Actually, I think he might. I think he either has the most assists this season or the second most. So he does. Yeah, he does create chances.
Yeah, I think he's got the most goal involvements for us this season as well. Which is why I say it's a bad season for him. But at the same way, he's at the very least showing that all he really needs is to finally get his shooting boots on, and then we have a quality striker on our hands.
Yeah. We say I don't know. Like I said, the goal he scored today. If he starts against Fulham and scores, then who knows? He might go on a run from there. But it's I don't know, Lewis. Honestly, it's
I understand that. Like, you can't judge too much of the Morecambe game because it's Morecambe. Like, at the very least, this was a standard performance that was expected and was delivered. Fulham is going to be closer to the real test, but it's more going to be Leicester City after that, because Leicester City, again, one of the big clubs at the side, at the top of the table, and one we haven't played yet, even though we haven't beaten anybody else above us yet. So that's our real test.
Yeah, I agree. Leicester are also above us in the table. Fulham, so we'll probably beat
their home
Fulham.
record isn't that good either. So I fancy us a little bit if we can fix up by then.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've got a good record there in recent seasons, but then you think of the amount of records we've actually broken this season. With players not scoring, players never scoring before, never scoring against us, not scoring from open play in God knows how many games. Chelsea rock up to their ground, they start rubbing their hands together.
Oh, don't remind me. That's that Arsenal type beat that we're all still suffering from.
Well, exactly. That's, I'll tell you what, the amount of leeway we've given David McGoldrick over the last 6 or 7 months will probably earn him a move to a Premier League club when Sheffield United do go down.
Well, I don't know what to make of the next few games. Final question. Lineup for Fulham. What are your thoughts?
Right. Well, Frank said Reece might be fit for Fulham, so yeah, I'll go with him. Obviously, the normal back four. You know what? In midfield, I'd actually stick Gilmour in there.
Yes. I've been advocating for more Billy Gilmour for weeks now.
And I'm not just saying that because he's a young player. Obviously, obviously we know what he can do, and obviously I like Andrew, but I'm unrealistic to know he's not just going to be thrown into a game like Fulham, is he? Because barely got any minutes this season. But
no,
yeah, I'd be playing Gilmour. Obviously you've got Kante suspended, so it'd be interesting to see. Well, who else could he play? Well, he'll probably start Mount, won't he? You might go with Kovacic on the right hand side. Yeah, but no, I think Gilmour will protect the defence well because Fulham play with wing backs as well. I think got that Anthony Robinson on the left, Reed right wing back position. I think he'll protect the defence. And Gilmour's one of those players who can easily turn. We could be under pressure. And he could sort of turn our defending into a counter attack.
Literally, because of how small he is as well, and how good his dribbling ability is.
His low center of gravity. All it takes, I think he did that Liverpool game in the cup he played. Man of the match.
Fabinho one just tore him apart.
Well, exactly. He's the sort of player. Ball will be coming to him. No touch turn, half turn. We're away. We're on the counter attack. So all it takes is one little move, one little transition, and suddenly we look a threat on the counter attack. But moving on to the front three, like I wouldn't start Werner personally. Just I don't think he's been I don't think his performance has been up to scratch recently. I personally go with Callum on the left, Pulisic on the right, and then up front, you said you go with Giroud. I wouldn't be disappointed if he went with Tammy. Not saying he should start, but I wouldn't be disappointed. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We all know Werner's going to start. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
we all know that's coming.
They say there's, you know, 3 things that are certain in life. Well, the 3 things that are certain in life that I know of are life, death, and Timo Werner starting, no matter how shit he was the game before. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love your blunt humor, man. Honestly, yo, thanks for jumping on, bro.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Fulham, I'll see you for Fulham, man. You take care.
Yeah, bro. All right, take care, Lewis. All right.
Oh yeah, jump on the group call if you're on it as well later.
Yeah, we'll do. All right, see you later.
All right, bless, bro. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Right, whoever needed to jump on next, there's space in the queue for one more. Who are we gonna get next? Jem, what are you saying, man?
Not bad, bro. How are you, man? How are things?
Won the game. I'm happy. I'm watching Spurs absolutely batter Morecambe though in the background.
What's the score? I ain't watching it.
Marine. It's 4-0 right now. 38 minutes in. Vinicius has scored twice. Lucas had a nice little free kick.
Yeah.
But expected for them. Expected for us.
Exactly, man. First half was shit. It was so shit. It depressed me watching it. I can't believe we started with the players that we did, and we put in the performance that we did in the first half. The thing that pissed me off the most is, and I keep saying it, and I constantly keep going back to it, if you're going to play this formation, this 4-3-3, your 2 8s cannot be static, which means that they don't come to the ball, they don't come to Billy Gilmore, pick the ball up, and then just do a pass and then run to the wing. They're meant to make runs behind the defence to open up the gaps, which is what we saw in the second half. And if you look, the second half was a better performance overall. Havertz was making runs behind the defence. Mason Mount was finding, gaps in their defence and running into them. That's what they've got to do. And for me, it's still a lack of understanding your roles. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's a big issue that we're having at the moment. Kai Havertz in the second half I thought had a very good game. I thought he was very good on the ball. He looked very hungry, moving forward with it. I thought Cho was great. Another thing that's really pissing me off is the Timo Werner thing, because he makes these amazing runs and we just don't find him. Like, he literally is always on the burners.
Big thing in the first half.
The first half, what we used to do is get the ball with Billy Gilmore. All right, Billy Gilmore for me had a very good game today. He was getting the ball and he was looking forward. Finds Mason Mount, or he finds Havertz, gives the ball to him. Instead of looking at Werner's runs, they're going sideways. So they're always looking to get it to either Dave or Emerson on the other side. And it's just too slow and too predictable. You're not going to break teams down if you're just going to keep going. Your 2 8s are going to pick the ball up and go sideways. What your 2 8s should be doing is picking the ball up, turning around, looking at Werner's run, looking at Cho maybe making runs around the back, or Ziyech, and try and pick them out. Do you know what I mean? And we wasn't doing that in the first half. Even though we were winning 1-0, it was poor. It was dead. It was absolutely dead, for me. And look, if we would have played like that against Fulham in the first half, if we'd had the same first half at Fulham, I think we would have been losing.
Yeah, this is why we can only take this result with a pinch of salt. We won because eventually quality showed, because it's Premier League versus League Two. I've also said previously as well, I think fitness came into account. League Two fitness compared to Premier League fitness is going to be on a completely different level. And also, apparently, these guys haven't played since Boxing Day as well. So, of course, these are going to be gassed by about 60 minutes.
I thought Hakim Ziyech in the first half was poor. I think the only one that could. I think the only one that could put their head up and say, yeah, I didn't do too bad, was Cho and Billy Gilmore. They're the only 2 people I can think of. And the reason for Cho is because he's so direct.
Emerson maybe as well. I'll add him to it.
Do you know what annoyed me about Emerson in the first half? He was in the box. Every time the ball was coming to Werner, he would jump in front of him and nick the ball off him. And then it's like, what are you doing, man? Go back in your position. Every time. He was in positions he shouldn't have been in. He just wanted to score. But look, yeah, he didn't do too bad. And I know we dig out Emerson quite a lot about the type of player he is. He lacks concentration. That's his biggest issue. He's just not a good defender. He's all right going forward.
He's an okay bench option. He's just better than Alonso is.
And for me, look, you got to play Timo Werner. I know he hasn't been playing great. I know in certain games a Giroud would suit. I know if we're going to be crossing FC, that Giroud would probably be better to be on the pitch, because 9 times out of 10 he's going to get on the end of him and Werner ain't. But what I saw in the second half, in my eyes, was a little bit different to the first in terms of the way we were creating opportunities. It wasn't always whip the ball in, whip the ball in, whip the ball in. It was get the ball to Havertz as quickly as possible, or get the ball out to Cho, who finds space, and it's directness. And then, you know, from that, Werner was getting more space. He was able to pick the ball up, you know, play some 1-2s, and it looks better. It did look better in the second half, purely because the 2-8s were dragging the defence everywhere. They weren't just standing there. Do you know what I mean? And just Werner in the first half, he just kept coming to the ball. He got that pissed off. He thought, why am I going to keep running, man? These guys ain't picking me out. I might as well just come to the ball where, you know, he can't do anything.
That
you know
always happened to him earlier on the season when we were playing 4-2-3-1 as well. He was playing against teams with a low block. He wouldn't be able to get much space in behind, so he always have to drop deep to get involved in the link-up play. Fair play. He was good, and he linked up well with Mount and Chill on numerous times. But it still didn't find him in the right positions. That's the same issue we've had with Kai Havertz as well.
Yeah, he did. I mean, look, Kai Havertz got it. The good thing out of today was that Kai Havertz got his goal. Timo Werner got his goal. It's just a reaction now. You know, are we going to get a bit of a, you know, they're going to get a bit of a kick up the arse now and start, you know, improving when they're being started. The other thing as well, what a save by Kepa, isn't it?
Kepa kept a clean sheet and had about 6 catches. Like,
no, but that first one
compared to Kepa, that's good form.
Yeah, you know that first one with the cross where he sort of like he went that way and then he went the other way and he like wrapped his arm around the ball. I don't know how he kept it out, to be honest. But that's probably the best save he's done in the Chelsea shirt. That was a big
blunder at the start. That was like, I looked at the replay. It was just a terrible cross that nearly went in. It was fair play to him.
He keeps overplaying Mason Mount as well, and I know it's his, you know, his son. By the looks of it, he likes seeing him on the pitch running around this, that, and the other. But the guy needs to have a break. And to be fair to Mason Mount, he was better the second half. Again, wasn't good in the first. Got his goal, which was important. Good finish. I'll give him that. But going into the Fulham game, I really do think it's going to probably be the same sort of lineup. Other than I want to see Gilmore play more. I actually want to see him be given an opportunity, because the one thing with Gilmore is he's positive. And if you're going to play the formation that we're playing, you want players that are going to look forward, not sideways all the time. And he always looks forward, or he takes a little dribble and tries to play a ball in. Do you know what I mean? So I'd like to see Gilmore. I think Werner will start. I think he will. I think Ziyech will start. And it just goes back to that catch-22, doesn't it, with Cho? Because it doesn't matter how well he plays. It doesn't seem like he's going to get started. And I'll be very surprised against Fulham if he's in the lineup. And that's not because I don't want him there. I just don't think Lampard's going to play him. I think you'll see Christian Pulisic start. And then he'll come
to be honest, Christian Pulisic has been getting way too much game time for my liking. And it's not against the player. It's just I don't want to see him get another injury.
No, I don't as well. And I think Lampard has to just juggle it well enough. And I think one of the things that Lampard's going to struggle with this season is the starting lineups and the formations, is because if you don't get it right, we've always got something to moan about. It's like, all right, well, he played Cho on the left today and Giroud's up front, but why didn't he play Timo Werner? He should have brought him on. Do you know what I mean? There's always something for us to moan about as fans, because we've got good squad depth. And I think what we've got to understand is maybe we're not going to find a first 11. Maybe that won't happen. Maybe we'll have different types of formations for different players. So you might see Werner play most games, but then for a certain game, Giroud might start, or Cho might not start because, you know, I don't know, Pulisic is starting because they believe it. Do you know what I mean? It would be a lot of more rotation in terms of the overall squad, rather than have your fixed 11 going into every game, which we can't do because we've got twig legs on the left. If he plays more than 2-3 games, he's injured, and Ziyech, who's always nursing injuries as well, you know. And it is what it is. And I get what you're saying about Giroud and Tammy Abraham, but for me, you spend that money. He's now playing his position. We're now sitting there moaning that he's playing his position, because now we're saying he shouldn't be started because Giroud is. Do you get what I mean? There's always an issue. There's always a problem. Yes, he hasn't played very well, but I don't think he played bad against Man City. I don't know what you thought about it, but I thought he was okay. I just think he lacked.
Which player?
Timo Werner.
No, I thought he played well. It was just another game when nobody found him. Making runs all game, but all he was dealing with was crosses. Like, everyone said that defense had an amazing game against us. Well, yeah, we were crossing to Pulisic and Werner all game. They had the easiest game of their lives.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I want to see, for me, I want to see Werner through the middle. I heard you mention earlier that you want to see him on the right. I just don't like seeing him on the wing. The reason I don't like seeing him on the wing is, for me, is it limits his movement. And you're asking him,
but it depends on the system.
It does, but at the moment, if you're playing a 4-3-3, do you still want Timo Werner on the right? Because that means you're asking him to then track back and defend and chase wingers and stuff, which I don't like seeing. So
yeah, but to be honest, the guy drops deep anyway. So to just drop deep 20, 30 yards to just help with a potential transition, I don't think it's too much to ask of him. And he does have the stamina to last because he's played so many minutes for us. I think just him having him on the right just keeps him in more comfortable positions to him on the left. Him on the left just stinks.
yeah, it's useless. Yeah, I don't ever want to see him on the left again, and it's obvious that it's not. Yeah, but I agree. Maybe off the right you see a better, he'd be better than off the left. But for me, he needs to be up front. And the one thing that I saw today, especially in the second half, that was working better, is that the closer Kai Havertz was to him, the more it seemed to look like something was happening, like with the two of them. And I think we need to do that more. And obviously, he got his goal today. It was a good little header down to Timo Werner. And I was happy with Kai Havertz getting a goal as well, man. You know what I mean? Because I thought he put in a shift today, especially in the second half. I thought he was being a lot more positive, and he was the Havertz that we're used to seeing at Leverkusen. And I do think he will come good, Havertz. I know people always judge him because of his price tag, but I really do think that he's going to be a top player for this club. I really do. I'm going to say it. I do think he will be. But what do you think?
But Kai Havertz, I think out of all the signings we have, he's the one that's most likely to become generational. He's a quality player, and as soon as he gets more comfortable, adapts to the intensity of the league, maybe bulks up a little bit more as well, you've got a quality player on your hands. It's just an adjustment period with him.
The other thing that I don't like seeing as well, Rudiger was doing my head in today. He just does too many. I don't know what it is about him, but corners coming in, he had 2 or 3 good chances in front of goal where he just skied it over the bar. But then after that, you want concentration from your defence, and he's giving stupid free kicks away.
To be honest, I thought those crosses were just too low for him.
Really?
Like, he was leaping for them, and then it just dips too early.
Yeah, but what about the one where it came to his foot and he was like in front of goal and he skied it over the bar? It was like,
yeah, but I'm thinking, why are we getting it to Rudiger's foot? Why aren't we getting it to his head? There should be the corners have a lot more height on them.
I hear that, and it seems like Ziyech is taking the the corners from both sides, isn't it, for Chelsea at the moment? So it's Mount's on the right,
taking corners, and I'm cool with that. Like Ziyech's corners back in the Ajax days were amazing.
But we're doing in swingers. If you've noticed, Mason Mount takes the right, and Ziyech takes the ones off the left. So they're always in swinging crosses, if you know what I mean. Yeah, man, look, it is what it is. It wasn't the greatest of performances. I was satisfied. I mean, I wasn't satisfied the first half. The second half, they seem to have got the message. What gets me the most with this Chelsea squad is we lack the consistency to be able to play 90 minutes at the same level as we did the second half. Why couldn't we have done that in the first? Why was we not making them runs? I
think the game opened up a bit more in the second half. I've been saying it was because of fitness.
Is it though? Like, for me, it was because players were doing things that they should be doing, which is dragging people around. 1-2, pass, move. Not just pass. Stand,
maybe put that down to half-time team talk then.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what Lampard wanted from the outset, but they just seem to understand. They're struggling to understand how to put that out on the pitch throughout a consistent manner at the moment. And if we can play like we did in the second half against Fulham, I think we'll win the game. I do. I think if it's the same team and whatever, and Cho's on the left or whatever, or Pulisic, doesn't matter. I think we will win the game. But I need to see more of the second half than the first. Because if we see more of the first and we go up against people like Leicester, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. We get found out.
I hear that, man. Well, thank you for jumping on. Shout out your channel because people want to know where you're at now.
Oh, right, yeah. So, I've got my own YouTube channel. It's on GNA TV. Yeah, so, yeah, give us a shout. We are doing a player rating later. So I was going to ask you, Lewis, but I don't know how long you're on here later and you've got your group thing. But
give me a shout when you start, but these things take on ages. I'll try and see if I can jump on if I can, but it all depends on this. But take care, man. Thanks for jumping on.
Appreciate it, bro. See you later.
Take care, bro.
See you later.
Right, I haven't spoken to you in a while. Tony, how are you, man?
Very well, thank you, buddy. Yeah, long time no speak, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Glad to see you're taking care of yourself. You're doing well.
Well, it's a terrible time for humanity right now, isn't it? And I was actually thinking the other day. Actually, I put out obviously on my Facebook group. This is the longest, I think, for about 33 years I've been away from SW6, not the channel, but the place, because obviously I've moved out of London now, and it's terrible right now, isn't it? Let's be fair, we're just all desperate to go back to normal and, you know, doing what we love doing best, buddy, you know. But yeah, it's been a long time. Funny enough, I've been doing quite a bit on Claude's channel. I don't know if you've seen that. I've been doing a lot of these Premier League stuff and that. I haven't done
really?
a lot. Yeah. I haven't done a
I might
lot
have
on
a look
Chelsea.
now. I didn't know that, but I'll have a look.
Yeah. I watch you a lot, mate. I watch you a lot on the. Yeah, look at that. The return of SW6. That's right. Well, do you know what? I have to say, my subscribers are absolute mints because I've done nothing for 3-4 months on my actual channel, right, which is scandalous. But kids, it's madness. You know, I've got a business I'm trying to run. It's horrible, yeah, and I don't want to make excuses, but it's the truth. And but you know, everyone's stuck with me, and I can't thank people enough, really. Do you know what I mean? Having said that, on the Facebook group, I've kept doing that. Obviously, I've got a bit of help there because I've got Francis CFC Stanley, and a lot of people know about her, and some really good help, Chelsea attack, good people, and that's continued. And we've got 96,000 on that, so that's really going good, you know. But I'm going to, because I'm trying to get some offices, right, and that's when I can get out in without the kids in the background, so, you know, all that sort of stuff. It's hard, isn't it? I mean, now I'm worried because, you know what I mean, all upstairs. And I've got some bits and pieces. I've invested in myself, and very soon I will be going out with some live streams, and I will be doing a lot of stuff with Claude as well, because we're going to do some old school stuff, because we are the old school, and we want to go out there and not being horrible or nothing, but explain to people what it was like when you went to Upton Park, you know, and back in the day, you know, and then times in the 70s.
That sounds like a great
yeah. That's what we're going to do, you know, something like that, because that voice ain't out there, you know, when it is all about the, you know, and fair enough, you know, Chelsea supporters all over the world.
No,
all
I
shapes
think
and sizes. We are
out there because you like experience and view the game in a much more different way to us lot do. Like, let's be real. I can put my whole hands up and say it. Only Chelsea I've seen is the successful Chelsea. You've seen Chelsea Division 2, 70s, the 80s, way far back. So you'd see something in a completely different light. So I'd definitely be watching that.
Yeah, where were you when you were shit? And I'm here, basically. I remember, you know, relegation 3 times. I remember we went to Wembley in the Zenith Data Systems Cup, and the year we actually went to Wembley in the Full Members Cup. Funny enough, we played Manchester City. It was 1985. Check this out: Manchester City versus Chelsea in the Full Members Cup. And it was actually a competition set out for teams that weren't ever going to get to Wembley and all that. And we played it, and we kind of hopped along. And we had a mental amount. In fact, nothing's changed really, because at Wembley that day, 69,000, about 55,000 Chelsea, and about 14,000 Manchester City. But it was a mental game, absolutely mental game, Lewis, because we were 5-1 up, 5-1 up, and with about 5 minutes to go, they scored 3 late goals, and I swear to God, they'd have gone on for another 5 minutes. It would have been 5-5, you know.
It's all only a comeback.
Yeah, just I'm really missing it right now. I'm not going to lie to you. Do you know what I mean? It's just that
I miss match days. Like, there's nothing beats going to Stamford Bridge.
I was looking at my season ticket, you know, and I was saying, my boy come down the other day. He said, "What's that? My season ticket?" So, you know, so what's that? So it's my last year's one. Last year, because you keep them, don't you? Do you know what I mean? And all that one. And it's all about this year. I said, well, you know, and it's sad, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, but very, very sad. Do you know what I mean?
It is, but hopefully we'll be back next season.
Yes, mate. Yeah. So I guess you want my intake on the match today.
Yeah, let's talk about today's game.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think we were great, did you? And I know I listened to the chat beforehand. Actually, funny enough, I watch him. He's actually quite sensible. Do you know what I mean? On the old football terrace, I watch him. Little plug there, Terry. By the way.
Yeah, big up football terrace.
Yeah, it's all right, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But funny enough, what's the black girl? She's very good. Yeah, she's very good. She is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's been like a breakout over the last year. She's doing bits.
Yeah, out of nowhere, isn't she? Do you know what I mean? You know, totally out of nowhere, she's come up. But you know, she's very good.
Football terrace made a lot of people, to be fair.
Yeah, I see the Gunners. Obviously, Lee Gunner's a good friend of mine as well. I know he's a Dooner and all that, but I've known Lee for 35 years. You know that?
Lee Gunner's blessed.
30 years. Yeah, well, do you know, it was me that told Lee Gunner to start up a channel. Do you know that? He said,
really?
Yeah. Because I'd done a lot of the original stuff with Claude, you know, when it was, they had the battle of the major fans, right? You know, it's me and Claude toe to toe
Yeah, was that
outside.
the Community Shield, I think?
No, that was before we played them at the Emirates, and it was the return of Fabregas. You know,
Fabregas. 14, 15 times. All right, cool.
He was totally dissing Fabregas, and I, you know, I was. And funny enough, I went down to the Emirates that day in the bright yellow. You remember the old kit with the blue collars?
The yellow one.
It looks like one of their kits, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And, and I was,
same colorway.
I was walking around, and I went down there with Paul Canaville. You know, Paul Canaville, the old ex-first black player who played for Chelsea and all that. I went, he said, do us a favour, come down. We said, all right. So he was going to plug his book and all that sort of thing. We met Robbie outside and stuff. And that was 5-6 years ago. And, I've forgotten what I was actually about to say now. Where do we get onto that? How do we get onto that?
I don't even know. We started talking about the game.
Hey, it's cool. I like okay, see on. Oh, mate, do you know what I mean?
But yeah, we were saying the first half wasn't all that, and the second half I thought was a game of fitness. And they haven't played since Boxing Day. We complain about our fitness, but we still played more games. We're more match ready than they are, and it just showed in the second half. But the first half, we did struggle to create chances. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz kind of got ignored for long periods, but then a bit of quality just showed up in the first half, and that got us both goals.
Yeah, it did, but I think it's flattering because, I mean, let's be fair, they probably had the best chance, didn't they? And by the way, that was a really good save that by Kepa.
I didn't think it was as bad. I thought it was a mistake at the start.
That was a mistake waiting to happen, wasn't it? I bet he was going, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Like how he grabbed it off the line because you only needed to have hit him, bounced off him, and then would have gone, he's at it again, you know, and all that one. But he done really, really well, to be fair to the lad. No, I thought we were far too slow, too pedestrian. In fact, I think most of the games this season we've been too slow. We haven't played at our best and got down the flanks and done our bit. I think left and right defensively, we're never the same without the two players out. I think with Chilwell and James, we're just better. We just are better. You know, I just think that there's something quite not right with the body language of Werner and Havertz. I mean, I've heard he's not happy. He made the wrong decision. I don't know how true that is. But there's something you can tell. I mean, I'm in sales and marketing. I can tell by people's person, and it just doesn't. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. But if you look at our run, I mean, I don't know about you, but I never looked at this. I looked at the run coming up, and I knew we weren't in good nick the way we were playing. We were kind of getting results. I mean, that West Ham result was massively flattering. I don't even know how we won that 3-0. Do you?
Nah, that's not a 3-0 game. It's a 1-0 at best.
You know, and but if you looked at those games, Everton away, where we always struggle there, and they're always liable to turn it on, especially at Goodison. We know what it's all about, and they were getting fans back that day. Wolves away, always going to be difficult. Listen, we got smashed in the last seconds there. Unlucky, you could say, on that one. West Ham, we were hopeless. We got a result, got away with it. Arsenal was scandalous. Yeah. Absolutely scandalous. I don't even know.
One of the worst results in the last 15 years. It's not the worst, but it's definitely.
No, it weren't the result. It was the attitude. It stunk of what's the right word? It was like we had completely utter contempt for Arsenal. It was like, is that your team? Right. Well, we'll win it, but we'll win it when we're ready. I don't think so. Those kids ran for. And we've let them off the hook, haven't we? They were on the ropes, Arsenal. We could have just buried them that day, you know, rubbed it in and
embarrassed ourselves.
But you know, we just let them get away with it. And of course, confidence is everything in life, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You get a few results and off you go, you know. Yeah, second half we were better, I think, because they ran out of steam. I mean, let's be fair, they were covering every brain. I mean, was it 96% possession of the ball? I mean, it was a bit one-sided, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? But we weren't moving it quick enough, and we weren't able to get behind them and get past them. I think Callum done well. I thought Billy was good. Just trying to think out the star players. I thought Havertz came into his own in the second half. I think he was better. Ziyech, whichever way you want to pronounce it. I think he's just a player, and he just needs lots of games, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? I love him. I love him already. You can tell he's such a quality player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he got into the game more in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a game we was expected to win, and it was also a game where had we not got 5, 6, 7, 8, we were an idea to nothing really. It was one of them sort of fixtures, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It was a confidence building game. That's what we had to look at it as.
Brought back a few memories for me though. Well, Morecambe Pier, and all that one. Very famous. Well, I won't go to that one. That's an old school one. Do you know what I mean? 1985 when we went to Anfield. And we got a 1-1 draw. It was a morning game. Pat Nevin got our goal, and we just come up, and there's about 500 Rangers there that day with us. And it was, it's like the Northwest games and Rangers with us. But they were there en masse, and because it was a morning game, we all ended up going to Morecambe that night. And we went in there. It was 2 coach loads of Chelsea. We pulled up, right? And there's a few faces on that coach, let's be fair. And we all got off. And the lady behind the bar says, "Listen, you don't want to go on that disco on the pier." She says, "It tends to get dangerous." Everyone's going, "Oh, is that right?" So they go on there. Anyway, it only turns out Ken Barlow at Coronation Street's giving out these awards. Right? That's right, God. And there's like 300 Portsmouth in there, 657. They were coming back from Bradford.
Oh my gosh.
Leeds United were in there as well, right? Next thing, it's going off everywhere. It's like a Western. And there was thousands of pounds worth of damage to that pier, and a load of my mates ended up going back down there for the trial. But they all got off of it,
Too many bodies to try and catch.
Oh, it was like a Western, mate. Do you know what I mean? I was going, what's going on here? Like, just get me on the coach, like, just get me on that coach. But so I did have to, but not that I can condone it, of course. Just telling as it was. In that particular time. But no, I don't want to make a Chelsea at the moment, buddy. I don't want to be too critical of Frank because he is the living legend, isn't he? I love Frank. We all love Frank. And in a way, we've kind of created our own Arsene Wenger, haven't we?
Low key, yeah, but I didn't want to be the one to say it.
We've created our own Arsene Wenger scenario now, you know that?
Yeah.
At Chelsea.
We kind of, which is why I'm trying to say, I like him. I'm never, ever going to insult the man because he's an absolute legend. But we have to be real with him.
If that was Maurizio Sarri right now, would you want him out?
Here's the thing, I was sorry until the end. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, so this is how we're moving with Lampard. Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, we're never going to say it, are we? Because he is the living legend. We love him.
Exactly.
We cheered him when he scored for Manchester City and robbed us 3 points. Well, so that's how much we love Frank Lampard. And the point is, as supporters, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt no matter what. I mean, there are going to be some that want him out. You never watch the Fifth Stand? When they do the commentaries and all that. Do you ever?
No, I haven't had a look at them, to be honest.
It's all Lampard out, mate. Lamps out. Yeah, the chat. Yeah.
I'll watch a lot of time.
But no, I'll give it a 7, 6.5 today, because we were expected to get 4. If we not got 3 or 4 goals today, there would have been questions, wouldn't there? To be fair,
definitely.
I'm glad that Werner got a goal because it's important for his confidence. As I say, Ziyech was good. But that's about it. Nick, was it Fulham up for us next?
Fulham up next on Friday.
Yeah, the old SW6
and then
derby.
On Tuesday as well, so we might need to think about resting a few too.
Yeah, would you make of that? You should throw it out there, actually.
What was that?
What do you make? You should throw it out there, actually. What's his name? Simeone. There's a lot of talk about Simeone, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of, I've heard slight rumours about Simeone. If he's there, like, you got to think about, someone said it perfectly on a YouTube video I saw a couple of days ago. We spent 250 million to basically replace Tammy Abraham and Hudson-Odoi, who were good players, but we knew we could do better. If there's a Simeone and we know we can do better, I think we might have to have a conversation.
Well, I'm glad you're having it. I've just started it and run. I've started it and run, haven't I?
Hey, I'm glad you started it, man. But thank you for jumping on, man. If you're coming on after the Fulham game, please, I'd love to chat to you again.
I just spoke to Sammy actually beforehand, and I said, "Look, get me involved because I'm going to restart up Chelsea SW6 again, guys. Listen, if anyone you're out there, please subscribe."
Yes,
Yeah,
Chelsea SW6. Everybody, subscribe, please. If you guys haven't done it, hit that subscribe button straight.
Well, all the home and away games, we used to do content, didn't we? Do you know what I mean? At the time, because there's been no football, and we used to do the live streams. But I'm going to start the live streams again. I'm going to go live, and I'm going to do this thing with Claude about the old school thing. We're going to do one on his, one on mine, with Claude and the Bouncers and all that. But also the Facebook group. You know, there's 96,000 good old strong army on there. A lot of the old school as well. A lot of the old school. You know, so thank you very much, mate. And much respect to your
please
channel.
jump on Friday as well. Thank you for coming on, man.
I will. Send me a link. Yeah.
All right, definitely. I will do. Take care, bro. Have a good night.
Love you loads. Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Bro. Take care. Right, who are we going to get on next? Again, everyone, if you guys haven't checked it out, Chelsea SW6. I will try leave it on in the comment section below while I got my next guest on. Tyrese, what you saying, man?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. What are you telling me?
First start off with the lineup. Actually, when I first started the lineup today, I thought that it was going to be like one of those games like to try. If he was going to try something, like why not try it there? Because because the lineup was really strong and it was a little weird to me. I was like, okay, strong lineup, but it's good to see Werner and Havertz get their goals and for Havertz to get an assist as well. It's good for their confidence. But bro, apart from that, I'm still not really impressed with our style of play, bro.
Yeah, there was a couple questions about that first half, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is, as the guy that was on before Chelsea SW6, he said that Mason Mount, that it was someone, Billy Gilmore was actually trying to make forward passes, and every time he gets the ball, he'll pass the Mount and then sideways pass it. That's clearly instruction, bro. I just don't like this.
Big up, Broads.
This sideways passing isn't good enough, bro. It's not good enough at all. We have a really good midfield, and it's actually concerning me that we're limiting Kai Havertz to be a sideways passing midfielder, and he actually looked better when he moved higher up the pitch today, which I was saying for the entire season, playing as in his natural position. Or if he's playing in the 4-3, give him like a free roaming role, like what De Bruyne has at Man City. I want to see Havertz like that. And when he moved further up the pitch, he looked better. He looked 100% better. He's a box-to-box midfielder, bro. I don't know how much time I have to say this. He isn't. And he's a quality player. And Havertz, he's a quality player, bro.
Yeah, he's a quality player. I'd say he can be a number 8, but he's more a number 10. And we have to play to his strengths right now or he assimilates.
Yeah, I think as I said.
Pick up yourself, man. Take care, bro. Love. Gone?
Kevin De Bruyne. When he was early in his career, he played number 10. Yes, he still plays as basically a number 10 for Man City. But actual number 10 or 4-2-3-1 in that hole. So when he was younger, he played there. And then when he got older into his game, he could have played box-to-box midfielder well for Pep Guardiola about 4 years ago. He got a bit older. When he went to Wolfsburg and he improved his game much better, he could have played that box-to-box midfielder role. I believe that is the same case for Havertz because a lot of people forget that this guy is 21. And at 21, this guy has better stats than Messi and Ronaldo. That does not mean he's going to become better than Messi and Ronaldo. I would like for people to stop doing that. I just think that he's a quality player, and he's a midfielder as well, bro. Like, it's just. I want to see Lampard, because I'm still Lampard out. Like a 4-0 win against a third division side is not going to change my opinion on Lampard. Like if he kind of like corrected some stuff for me. What he did is that he started playing Werner in his correct position. He started playing Cho a bit more. And yeah, I'm still not. A lot of people are really happy with the performance of Ziyech, but today I still. It's not his fault because when he gets the ball, he crosses it too much things. I still think that there's more to Havertz. I mean, there's more to ZH than we actually that we know. I watched my Ajax and I know there's more than just crossing off with his left foot. I want to see him like being dangerous, like cutting inside on that left foot, doing some more. He did a little bit of it today. I don't know if you noticed it. He did a little bit of it today in the second half, and I want to see that more from ZH, bro. Like that's a strong suit of the game. We can't just limit him as a crossing machine. By Havertz and Mason Mount to just sideways passing machines. I think that they have much more to their game, bro. Much more to their game. And other than that, bro, we need to seriously, like discuss the tactics that we have, bro, because it could work against
the tactics.
these certain. Yeah, because crossing inshallah works for Real Madrid, but they still transition from midfield with Modric and Kroos. I see it. I watch Real Madrid for a bit, and Liverpool. Also does actually Liverpool actually relies a lot on their fullbacks, but they still have Thiago in there if they want to make good forward passes instead of relying on Trent all the time or Robertson. But we can't keep doing that, bro. We have a really good midfield, really quality midfield, bro. And we're not even using it to our advantage. I thought that last season we were doing well for midfield. I don't know. And we didn't even have such a good team. And we were actually creating a lot of chances from midfield. Mason Mount wasn't sideways passing all the time. I don't get it, bro. I really don't get it. But other than that, it was a good performance to move on to the second round of the FA Cup. And if we're being realistic, this is a trophy that we have to win. We have to win it. I mean, the performance-wise in the first half, everyone didn't like it. I didn't really like it either. And in the second half, we showed our quality, but I'm still not really convinced with the 100% performance. Like, we're playing against a third division side. We should have went there being ruthless, putting 8 past them, let them know that we're the bigger club, let them know that we're Chelsea. We went there a bit. We did show our quality. Don't get me wrong, but we're still a bit complacent. I want to see us be more ruthless. Like that again reminded me of Newcastle away. When we won 2-0 in front of me that run, we should have beaten Newcastle up there like 5-6-0, bro. The amount of chances we had, but we were just really complacent. That's the same thing for today. I think if on a better day, if we were playing with a different manager, we could have been this side about 8-0. But right now, I'm happy for the win. I'm not too impressed with the performance. Everyone knows me. I don't like crossing, inshallah, unless you are creating chances from midfield. I won't say it's create chances from midfield. It's just weird. I don't get it. We don't have to rely on our fullbacks. We don't really have to only rely on them. I don't have any problem with crossing because we have players that if we play that tactic, we could win a lot of games. Like Olivier Giroud. If we're playing that, play Giroud. I wouldn't have a problem if we're playing that playing Giroud, but we're crossing the ball into a 5'11" striker. And another thing that's and what's concerning me, we're not playing to Werner's strengths. We're not playing with him. So like I thought I was the only person that realized that this guy actually made good runs today, but no one that seemed to find him. So it's just weird, bro. It's really weird because if a striker's make a run, regardless of an instruction from a manager, just say this pass to the fullback, get the ball to the fullback, you still try and get the ball for the striker to get in behind, bro. It's basic football. Like it's just, I just think that Lampard system is limiting a lot of our players because I love Ziyech, but I want to see more from his game. I know there's more to his game than just what he does than cutting in and crossing all the time. I know there's more to Mason Mount's game. I know there's more to Kai Havertz's game. And we've seen that today when he played higher up pitch. And that's what I want to see from us. I want to see us playing some good football, fast flowing football with Werner making good runs and me finding him to get in behind and him scoring us a lot of goals. But I know it's only Morecambe, but I always said even if Werner and Havertz did well in the first half of the season, I think this will be time for them to really show out of the year. I think this year, I think they're gonna have a good year. I think they're gonna have a good year, the second half of the season and show people how much quality they are. But other than that, bro, it was a standard performance. I wasn't expecting us to not go there and score a lot of goals, and we did that. And we went there, we scored 4, kept the clean sheet. We really didn't have anything at all to do. 3 shots during target from the Morecambe. But yeah, we showed our quality. We were the better side, and on to Fulham. I actually keep the same 11 apart from Billy Gilmore, probably for Kovacic. Probably for Kovacic. But Kante can't, because Kante can't play. And maybe I have a strong feeling he's gonna go for Jorginho for Fulham unless because if I don't see Jorginho play against Fulham, that's gonna cause me a little like speculation, like if he's gonna leave this January, if he's gonna be sold, maybe, because that's what teams seem to do when there's players that make a move outside the club. But Gilmore was really good today. He was really good.
Really good today. He needs to play more, in my opinion.
Yeah, we could probably try him against Fulham since Kante is absent. Like play him. I don't think we ever tried a Gilmore and Kovacic pivot, didn't we? Did we ever try a Kovacic and Gilmore pivot before?
I don't think so. I think he was injured by that point just before the first lockdown.
Yeah, we could probably try that against Fulham and probably put Havertz in front of them, and then go with the same front. We gotta play Cho more too, bro. I always said it when Cho broke through, like in 2018 season, like when he was that young, I always knew that he was gonna be a good player, and he's showing that he's a really good player. He's so direct, bro. He's so direct. He gets the ball. He takes on some defenders. Yeah, it's only Morecambe, but he did that against Man City as well. So, bro, he's a quality player. And as I always say, we gotta manage Christian Pulisic, especially because we all know he's a bit of a injury prone. So if we do not play Cho against Fulham, I'll be concerned. But if he plays Pulisic, I still wouldn't really be angry either. But Cho has to play more 100%, bro. 100%. 100%. But we played well today, and it's just on to Fulham. I'll keep the same 11 and probably play Gilmore, try Gilmore and Kovacic in a pivot, or play Gilmore at CDM again and put Kovacic as the box-to-box along with Havertz. So I think I'm fairly impressed with the win, but not the performance, because as you said, I don't like our style of play. So yeah, bro, I'm impressed with it that we're moving on to the next round.
All right, well, thanks for jumping on, bro. You staying on for the group call later?
Yeah, I would, bro.
All right, cool. We've got about 4 more guests, and then we're gonna go on to 3 more guests. We're gonna go on to the group call. So I'll see you in a bit.
So stay here or leave.
You might as well stay. We've got enough spots if anyone else wants to jump in, so you can chill. All right, take care, bro. All right, quickly on to our next guest. Andy, what are you saying, man?
What's up? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm chill. 4-0 win. First win in our last 4 games. I'm calm. What are you saying?
Feels weird, you know, after that win streak. And we haven't
hopefully we're getting another 17-game win streak.
Yeah, imagine. Our purple patch is coming.
I hope so, man. I hope so. What were your thoughts on today?
First half it was real slow. Like maybe first 20, 25 minutes we were real slow. But once that goal went in, we started to pick it up a little. The first goal.
Yeah, game seemed to open up from then. Who was your best players today?
Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, and I don't know, maybe Gilmore. Like he goes unnoticed, like, because he just does the job in the middle. Keeps it simple, picks it up, moves the ball on real quick. So big up Gilmore, like.
What about Tomori? That's something I want to talk about. Fikayo Tomori. Actually, no, we've only just found out it's a loan deal. I'm done with that one because that one makes sense now.
Yeah, but
have you heard what clubs he could potentially be going out on loan to? Because I haven't even had the chance to check yet.
If I were to guess, maybe the likes of West Ham and Everton, the clubs he was linked in the summer.
Yeah, he was linked to West Ham. Everton, I'm not too sure about unless they've got any injury worries or what.
I heard there's like a French team. I'm pretty
French
sure he was
team.
linked- Yeah, he was linked to
I
go
thought
to
it'd be a
France.
Premier League side.
What?
I thought it'd be a Premier League side.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw a Ligue 1 team from France linked with him. Can't remember the team name. But
Okay.
I hope it's for the Prem. Like they'll give him good experience.
All right, cool. In that case, then, talk about the way that we played, because a lot of people are still asking questions about the system, what our main plan of forwards is whenever we're attacking, because we're still pushed onto the wings bare times. Chat to me about the way we played.
It's still the usual, the cross and pick up the ball and the wing cross. I was looking at the time, and our first cross came after like 58 seconds. I was like, yep, here we go.
Mm.
And it's like with Azpilicueta, I feel like his crossing isn't as good as it used to be. He seems to hit the first man all the time now.
If anything, I was looking at more the corners, because Rudiger could have had two goals in that game if
Yeah, I
he put
remember.
the ball a bit higher up, but it kept going down towards his feet.
Yeah, with Ziyech, wasn't it? Ziyech was taking them.
Yeah, I can't lie. Ziyech, I thought he was okay in the second half, but the first half he was really slow. He didn't look up for it.
I don't know why. Though. I don't know like if he can blame his injury because he's played a few games since his injury.
How many games has he played though? He's started the Man City game, and that's it, isn't it?
And this game as well.
Yeah, this game. But to be honest, this game I would have rather brought him on.
Yeah, same. But hopefully with him coming off early, to a half an hour was there or something, hopefully he starts against Fulham then.
All right. Speaking of Fulham, talk to me about the team that you want to see play for that game.
Obviously, like Mendy and then the normal back four. Hopefully, is Reece James back? You know.
I'm hearing he might be back for the game, but don't take my word for it.
Hopefully he is, and if he is, he's obviously in the right back. And I don't know, maybe midfield three of is Kante still suspended, isn't he?
Kante?
Suspended.
Yes, I think so. Someone's got to let me know in the comment section if he's done his suspension now or not. But I think he's out.
Okay. Then I don't know, maybe like one of Jorginho or Gilmore, I don't mind. One of them to play like the centre mid role. And then I'd like to see the 2-8s. I want to see Mount and Havertz back again together.
You want to see Mount and Havertz? Okay, so you'd bench Kovacic.
Yeah. His performance against City, I did not like that at all.
Yeah, I could say that for the whole midfield though.
Yeah, but you know when we played Burnley the first time we played the 2-8s, Havertz and Mount?
Yes.
That was really good. And I feel like if they get a run of games together, that midfield could be good.
Okay, I mean, I might be open for that. Cool. Who else do you want to see in the lineup?
I don't know, maybe right wing's the edge, obviously. And I don't know, because I want to see Hudson-Odoi play, but I don't want to see Werner out on the wing.
I'm saying I'd take Werner on the right-hand side. In the middle, depending on the system we play.
On the right?
I ain't got an issue with Werner on the right-hand side. It's on the left where I think he stinks.
Yeah, because Tim always trying to chop onto his right foot. It's too obvious.
Exactly. If you keep him on his right-hand side, he bursts through a play. He's got either room to make a cross or room to make a shot. And it's more comfortable for him.
So you're saying get Ziyech out then?
I mean, all this game against, Morecambe, I forgot even what their name was. But all this game against Morecambe has shown me was that he's not fully match fit. It took him to the second half to really kick on. That was when the whole team started dominating more. I wouldn't mind him being benched for that game when we bring him on potentially. I don't mind that. Christian Pulisic as well. I don't mind how sparingly we play him this season, but just make sure that whenever he gets a good run of games next, he doesn't get another injury. So I don't care too much about that. I think right now our best front three is Hudson-Odoi on the left, Olivier Giroud in the middle, and Timo Werner on the right.
I'll be down for that for him. That'll be a good front three. I'd like to see how that happens. Like,
I don't ever see that happening.
Yeah, for sure. Hudson-Odoi, like he has to start. Like his last few games he's played here, he was unbelievable. Like, I hope he plays.
All right, cool. Any final thoughts, bro?
Not really. No, just hopefully we win the FA Cup now.
Yeah, hope so, man. Hope so. If you're coming on for the group call later, just jump back on the StreamYard. But until then, take care, bro.
Sorry. See you in a bit.
less. Right, 2 more guests, and then we will be starting the group call. So if you guys want to get your spot, jump back on the StreamYard if you guys haven't done so yet. Fata, what are you telling me, man?
I was half asleep, man, honestly. I was half asleep during that game, that first half. I know it's a bit average at times, but it's nice to see those German boys getting back the confidence, you know. I mean, we've had a 1 month like without form, like losing form. And it's just nice to see those 2 boys getting back together in shape though. And my issue at times, like especially in the midfield, man, is just I think the chemistry isn't built yet, but I think that Billy Gilmore can inject that chemistry into midfield, because I've seen him a couple of times though. He was so good today as well, and the fact that he was so commanding as well, and it's just like, for me, he might be the future captain of this football club.
Really? You see him as a captain?
Yeah, I would say he's a good captain though. I think he can be a good captain, Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm not trying to be. It might sounds laughable, but
no. I can get with it. In a few years, I could get with that. I think Reece James is the most likely to be a captain out of all the youth players right now. But in the future, I could see that. It's not a bad idea. It's just very speculative.
Yeah, you know, Billy Gilmore can become the next Frank Lampard. Who knows in a few years' time? But today, man, in the bigger context, it's just it's very nice to get a win. Although, like, some of us like, oh, it's only against Morecambe and that, blah 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 blah. I mean, literally, honestly, like, we had a really rough 1 month, especially you getting banned to the left, right, and center by everyone. And then it's just like, it's nice to get back to winning ways. And then also, like, when you said about Kai Havertz and Timo Werner stats on their first half of the season, I think you might be right though about that stats, Lewis, because on the first half of the season when he was at Leverkusen, Kai Havertz was really like very average, and then second half of the season he starts to kick on, and I feel like it's kind of like his pattern form kind of like follows Chelsea this season, and I think that I can see him getting confidence back, but I'm not sure whether if it's against Fulham, because Fulham is a different team than Morecambe. Let's be real about it. And in the Premier League, we haven't won since against West Ham. I mean, it's only against West Ham, but to be fair, that game was only a gift. Like, we haven't won a proper game since November, at least, against Sheffield United. And I just hope Kai Havertz, man, I'm just hoping this guy gets going this season. We need him the most because his creativity today, like, we've been missing him the most this season, and it's just show today, man. The way he performed today, like, it's typical Kai Havertz day, and it's like a normal day. But I can't say nothing more than that, Lewis.
All right. Well, what are your thoughts going into the Fulham game?
Pessimistic, I would say, because again, Lampard is under pressure from the board as well, and the fact that we need to start delivering some results. I'm not going to looking on the table itself, because, to be fair, right now the top 4 race, it looks really tight at this current moment in time, though, and I'm just hoping that with this victory, I'm just hoping that these guys can inject that mentality from this into the Premier League, week in, week out. Like, yeah, man, it's just like, let's hope like these boys get their mentality going into this season. You know, I hope like this season is the start of our comebacks.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on, man. You're staying for the group call later, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll see you in a little bit. Right, final guest before we jump onto the group call. Ryan, what are you saying, man? Oh, you're on mute, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm good. How are you? Man?
What are you saying, man? You good?
Yeah, standard performance in it. Like no matter what form we're in, you have to beat Morecambe in it. League Two side, and yeah, I'm just happy for Timo Werner and Kai Havertz for the most part, just regaining some confidence. And yeah, nothing else really to say. Like the first half was a bit crossing, inshallah, and like reliant on the wings a little bit too much. The first half was just dry. The second half, the quality just showed between us and Morecambe. Yeah, I mean, and it just got us through. But yeah, not much to say. Tamori's gonna go out on loan, I guess. Hence why he didn't start the match. And I think he just fell out with Lampard. To be honest, I think he just fell out with Lampard off the pitch. Hence why he's just not playing him. And yeah, Tomori's going out on loan, so yeah, I mean, but it was a standard performance, like nothing to get carried away with. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a confidence building sort of game, really. How do you feel going on towards the Fulham game? Because I think towards the second half, people are saying we switched to a 4-2-4 formation. Do you think this game was more like a training match for future matches, or was just something that we were going through?
Just something we were going through. I don't think it's going to change anything about the Fulham game. Like this game does not change my views on like anything I've said before. Because we should just be beating Fulham. Not Fulham. Morecambe. Even on a very very off day, we should still have the quality to beat Morecambe. So if we beat like a Premier League team, or maybe even a high Championship team, then I might take away something from it. But Fulham and Morecambe are two different teams. And yeah, I think Fulham's going to be the big test to see if this was just a one-off game and our quality just showed, or we're actually building confidence from this. Because we can just go out and lose to Fulham. Like I wouldn't be that surprised. It won't be out the blue considering our form. But yeah, I don't think it changes like anything for Fulham. I don't think it changes anything.
All right, cool. Well, what's your starting lineup for Fulham?
My one. I'd have Mendy in goal. Usual back four. If what's his name, Reece James is back, I'll play him at right back, and if not, we'll just stick with Aspi there. And then let's see a 4-2-3-1. Gilmore, Kovacic playing, or even Jorginho and Kovacic. Like if Jorginho has a good day, he could play with Kovacic because he had that understanding from last season. But my preference would be like Gilmore and Kovacic together. Then in the 10, Kai Havertz, and then left, and then the front three. Giroud up front for me. I think he's our best striker at the moment. At right wing, I would have Hakim Ziyech, and then at left wing, I'd have Hudson-Odoi. I want to play.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Any other final thoughts before we start the group call?
Nothing more. It's just this game was like nothing to take away with, and yeah, Tomori's going out on loan, so understandable why he didn't play, but I still don't get why he hasn't got a chance in other games. Yeah, I mean, he's a better defender than Christensen in every department, apart from maybe playing out from the back. He's better than Rudiger for me. He's more composed on the ball and just composed than Rudiger. So yeah, understandable why Tomori didn't play today. But yeah, it's just our quality shown. It's the FA Cup third round. We should be winning. I mean,
all right, cool. Well, we'll go straight into the group call now because we got 4 people on. Anyone else who wants to jump on? StreamYard link's already been sent out. If you don't want to jump on the StreamYard link, just DM me and I'll send you the StreamYard as well. Yes, guys, what are you saying? You all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I think first thing we could do just to warm things up, should we go through player ratings? We can go through the team's player ratings quick. We'll start off in goal. Kepa, first clean sheet in ages. What was everyone's thoughts on his performance today?
Didn't really have much to do, did he? Really, but there was that cross-come shot in the first half where, he could have fumbled it over, but he did well to recover. Apart from that, it wasn't really tested.
Yeah, a bunch of catches, but to be honest, even with his record of catches from last season, a bit of a positive from him. So I'm gonna. I was gassed as hell on my channel. I gave him an 8 or a 9 or something, but I'll probably stick with a humble 7. Kappa Golden Boot is coming though. Right back. As for Equator, what's everyone's thoughts?
7. I think it was decent. We had a good cross in it. You know, he was solid. There was not. They didn't really trouble him going forward. No, it was decent going. No, he didn't. They didn't really trouble him defensively, but attacking he was good. I'll give him a 7.
7. Okay, everyone in agreement with that?
Yeah, 7.
All right, cool. You know, I'm just going to take one person's opinion and keep doing with that. Tyrese, next. Kurt Zuma, what was your thoughts on him?
I think it was pretty solid. He's continuing his good form. I think he was pretty good. He actually partnered pretty well with Rudiger. The communication was great. I didn't see any errors from him, I don't think. So yeah, I'll probably give him an 8.
An 8. Everyone in agreement with an 8?
I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well. Yeah.
Like,
Okay, yeah, go on.
He didn't really get that troubled that much defensively, but he was solid whenever he did. So I just give him a 7.
Yeah, to be fair, an 8 is more like man of the match worthy performance. I don't think it was an 8, but it was a solid performance against a team that barely even tried to attack us for most of the game. So I hear that. If anyone's watching this on the background, by the way, please mute it because I'm hearing an echo. Who's next? Rudiger. We're gonna go for a 7 for him as well then, because it seems like the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, I think it was slightly better than Zuma, but nothing like outstanding. Real solid today.
Yeah, at the very least, his passing was a bit better today. But other than that, like both of them were barely threatened.
Yeah.
Moving on to Emerson. Now, very attacking. Now, he had a lot of chances today. I thought the inside runs that he was making were creating small chances for us to create something, especially in a really drab first half with barely any opportunities. But I'll probably go for another 7 for him as well.
6.5 maybe.
6.5. Go on.
I'll give him a 6.5.
I agree too.
I think there was times where he could have crossed a little bit better. Times where he shot a little bit too early. Times where he lost the ball a little bit. But I don't think it was a disaster performance. I just give it a 6.5.
Yeah, I didn't mind the shooting really because I actually commend him for shooting, but he was just out of position too much for me. Like, what was he in midfield? What was he in the box? He was all over the place. But yeah, 6.5. He wasn't a bad performance.
All right, cool. Alex, talk to me about Billy Gilmore's performance today.
You know what? Honestly, I don't think it was the best game he's played, but he wasn't. I don't think he was poor. I think he was okay. You know, I think obviously his best performance, probably argue maybe the Liverpool game. But today, yeah, he just covers a lot of ground, doesn't he? I mean, I know it's only Morecambe, but when you're given the chance, all you can do is perform, really. And I think with the limited opportunity he's been given, you know, he's obviously been given less of an opportunity than say Callum has, but I personally would start him against Fulham. Don't know what you guys think about that, but
I agree with you on that. More Billy Gilmore is perfect for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably say a 7. I don't know what you lot think about that, but
7. Everyone good on a 7?
Yeah.
I think I would have got on the ball. Not sideways.
Right, say that. I couldn't quite hear you.
I said he was direct when he got it. He wanted to move it forward, not too much sideways and backwards passing, which is refreshing.
All right, cool. Fata, chat to me about Mason Mount. Fata, you're on mute, G. Yeah, Fata, I can't hear you, man. Okay, Tyrese, chat to me about Mason Mount.
I think in the first half he was a bit poor, but in the second half, he really showed his quality. But I'll probably give him a 6.5, 7. Yeah, 6.5.
Great
I
goal.
think actually, I think it was a great goal. So just for scoring, I'll probably give him a 7. But I think in midfield, Gilmore performed better than for sure. But it's good for it. It's a really good goal he scored, so I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I think the goal pulls him up a little bit as well.
Yeah.
I'd say that 7. Everyone agree on a 7.
Yeah.
All right, Fata, we're gonna try again. Fata, tell me about Kai Havertz.
You know what? Look, Lewis. I've been over criticized Kai Havertz for the last couple of weeks on his physicality in the Premier League, but today, man, like when you remind me, like the stats that you told me a couple of weeks ago against Everton, that he had a poor first run of games, and then suddenly he starts to come alive. And I think this could be the game. Like he could be like starts to his season going. Though I would give him a proper 8, Lewis, because I thought he was like really solid today.
Yeah, golden assist, one of our man of the matches, in my opinion. It's either him or Hudson-Odoi. But yeah, it was a great performance. 8 for me as well. Everyone else agree on an 8?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hakim Ziyech. Now, this one was a game of two halves for him. First half, I thought very invisible. Some of the passes were just really wayward from him. It wasn't the Hakim Ziyech performance that you expect. But the second half, I think after the build-up play that he had for the first goal, he might have started growing a bit more confidence. He got the assist for the second goal as well. But second half was a good performance from him. I think that ups it to a 6.5. I think I'm not going to say a 7, but I'd say 6.5.
I would say 6 because I thought he was sus that time the way he crossed the ball. But
I think there's more. I think it's more to his game than just crossing. I know there 100% there's more to his game than crossing, but Lampard said he's limiting him to that as a crossing machine. So yeah, 6.5. He wasn't that bad, but I want more from him.
Yeah, Alex, did you have something you wanted to say as well?
Yeah, I'd say 6. I mean, yeah, like you said in the first half, wasn't a typical Ziyech performance in terms of what we know he can do. Even in the second half, at times, obviously he was better, but trying some shots from ridiculous angles. He had a couple that just flew over, probably landed where you normally sit.
One of our stands. We're both either side of the goal anyway.
Exactly.
But yeah, okay, Havertz. I mean, we've gone through Ziyech now. Timo Werner. Runs ignored for the most part. Got a goal. First goal in 12 games. Good positioning, I guess. Second half, we got hauled off relatively early, I think, to be fair. Are we going to go 6.5 as well?
No, I'll give him a 7.
I'll go with 6 personally, but I don't know what you look.
I think he had a good goal. He couldn't have really missed from there. But yeah, other than that, he made good runs. It just wasn't being seen. But I think he was.
I would say 6.5, but because of the chance that he missed at times, though, I think I remember one time that he missed at the sitter one time. I forgot. I think it was sometime around like minute 20th or something. I can't even remember. But it was really close in front of the goal, but yeah, I think he missed the chances, kind of.
All right, cool. So we all agreed on a 6.5 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll settle for 6.5. Yeah.
All right, cool. Hudson-Odoi has to be an 8, potentially an 8.5. I thought he was excellent today. Very creative. I thought first half he did struggle just like the rest of the team did, but he was still probably our brightest light for that part of the game as well. Anyone else in disagreements?
I think he deserved an 8. He was good today. He was playing.
He was brilliant today. He was brilliant today.
Yeah, absolutely excellent. 8. Is there substitutes? I'm not going to go back and forth through each of them. Is there any substitutes?
Standard 5 was.
Yeah, they weren't on enough.
Yeah, nobody stands out to each other. All right, cool. So that is the end of player ratings. Now, guys, I can't lie. It's Chelsea versus Morecambe. I don't really know how many talking points there are, so I'm going to open the floor to you guys. Is there anything that you guys want to discuss, or do you guys just want to end it here?
Lampard.
Yeah.
I think he was desperate for this performance. Like, had we been on a honeymoon period coming up to this game, I think he would have played a lot more youngsters. But I think he was desperate for a win over here. Hence why he played some first team players. And most first team players, they didn't bring on any youth players. But yeah, I think it was very, very desperate for a win if we're here to gain confidence.
Do you reckon if this game were away, like it could have gone a different way then? If this game were away,
Mm-hmm.
with this kind of lineup
from Chelsea?
Yeah. If this one like for example, if we were away at Morecambe.
I don't know.
Nah, I don't think it would
Nah.
have made too much of a difference.
It would have been a little bit better, but not like it wouldn't be that big. Like we should be beating Morecambe home or away, realistically.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you guys want to discuss? Because I can't lie, like I've already gone through like for 3 hours of this. If you lot want to keep going, I'm happy to keep going, but it depends because it's Chelsea Morecambe, innit? You can't keep going back and forth about it. But if there's anything you might want to discuss, let's talk about it now.
Yeah, we could discuss follow.
Sammy, you're a waste man, by the way. I know you're laughing in the background.
Yeah, Sammy. Hey, Sammy, I can't even log in, man. Thank you, man.
Speak, bro. See this guy every single time.
Are we harsh against Werner?
Are we being harsh against Werner? At times, probably not, because not gonna lie, I was created with Werner's position on the left wing. Maybe me and Lewis like had a debate about Werner's position in the left wing. Yes, like how many times we had Werner on the left wing doesn't work out. Like, but
Werner on the left wing is basically Daniel James.
That's why. Yeah. That's what we've been crying about.
Yeah.
When you don't give him space, I would say that. If you give him space, there's still a quality player, but it's easy to shut him down.
I think, yeah. I think today, if you look at today's performance, the way Timo Werner's positioning is absolutely perfect. But I know it's only Morecambe, but if against any other sides, against Tottenham or maybe like a mediocre side like against Wolves or Leicester, maybe he wouldn't got that many spaces to create a chance though.
I don't think it helped them Morecambe sitting so deep as well. They just put so many crosses in the box, and then it was all didn't really help him like that.
DM me, bro, on Twitter.
But I think it was just damage limitation. Obviously, they haven't played since Boxing Day. I think they're just trying to keep the score down. There's no way they were coming to Stamford Bridge trying to get a result.
And also the fact that the first team Morecambe, like the players today, are the ones that being rested because of the what happened, the cases in the ground, innit? The one because apparently before this game they were their game against Leyton Orient were called off because one of the players got tested. Like I don't you know what I mean?
Tested positive. Yeah. So one of the Morecambe players, I thought they'd already got past their scare.
Before this game, because before this game they're supposed to play Leyton Orient, but it was called off because of the players test positive, and then all the players had to self-isolate. Literally, this is their first game back since December.
Yeah, when it comes to the football games, it's getting to a point where players might have to get put in a bubble. Apparently, it's 1 in 16 people now in London that have Rona. And it's getting crazy down here. Is this mad?
Oh, yeah, man.
What other questions we get?
I have a question.
3-4-3. I can't lie. I don't back a 3-4-3.
No, me
You've
neither.
got to midfield to play 2 in midfield.
That another fight is too much, bro. That another fight is too much. Like, it worked
I
against
don't know
United.
if Reece James would suit it 3 at the back, though. I don't know if he can play like a right wing back, though. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, he can. Moving forward, it's so good.
There's no need. Like,
I mean, if you want to, if you look at last season, we play a 3 at the back against big sides, it does work because Aspie like role as a centre back, and then you can have Reece James on a right wing back against big game. It does tend to work out.
I think it helps defensively. It helped
massively last season, but I don't know if it's worked this season though.
Bro, we need to stop all this chopping and changing, because like if you look at Liverpool, Real Madrid, and look at all these other sides in Europe, these guys have a standard 11, a go-to starting 11. Where are we always changing? Where are we always changing formation? Where are we always just stick with something? You have to stick with something. You can't just keep changing all the time, bro. Like top sides don't do that. Like, we're a big team, and so we can't just keep changing formations every time shit hits the fan. You gotta stick with your formation and make sure it's working.
I don't even know if it's the formation because like sometimes it just comes down to more than formations. Like Lampard's tactics as well. Like if he does put a 4-2-3-1, he also needs to change the way we're playing as well. Because if we do have a 4-2-3-1 and we're still spamming crosses into Timo Werner and Hudson Odoi, say like that, then it's not gonna make a huge difference. But if we switch to a 4-2-3-1 and Lampard changes
I
the way
think
we're
that's the
playing, it makes a difference. But
I think that's the formation you always wanted to play, bro, right? I think that's the formation you always wanted to play. I think that's the formation you always wanted to play.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, because 4-2-3-1.
Oh, shit. Oh, look who's joining.
I think it's 4-2-3-1, bro, because we always imagined that it was going to be a pivot with Kante and Kovacic until we buy Rice. But I think that if we get that from Rice, I think he's going to play 4-2-3-1. But I guess he has to.
Yeah.
I think he has to. So I don't think 4-3 formation Lampard wanted to play because he tried it in the second half against Krasnodar, and ever since then we stopped. But he was always trying out these different formations like 4-2-2-2, and it's just weird. It was just weird before Krasnodar in second half of the Krasnodar game. Then we actually stuck with it for 3 since then. But I think 4-2-3-1 was a formation he always wanted to play. Always. I think that's the formation.
Yeah. 4-2-3-1. I think when Rice comes as well, help a lot. It'll help Kante a lot as well. Because Rice can just sit back. And Rice isn't the most like mobile player. He's not known for his dribbling or running around. He's known for giving defensive stability. So him and Kante, I can see that being a good partnership. And then when Kante ages out a bit, Gilmore can come in. Now, I mean, I think Declan Rice will be good with his team. Can switch formations. Kai Havertz can as well. And yeah, I mean,
I think a question we need to ask is if I actually forgot what I was going to ask actually, so just give me a minute to think about
what about this question? We got this one from the comment section. What do you think of a midfield three of Kante, Ziyech, and Havertz? No, I don't know.
Oh no, probably
I
not.
see more balance in there. Like Kante's already
I
getting
would prefer. Look,
more balance than that. Correct word.
We've had this discussion for about several times this season. If you're gonna play Kante, yeah, we have to have like a proper DM sit beside Kante. The reason why we're success with Conte in 2017, that's because we had Nemanja Matic partnership with Kante. That's why we won the league.
Do you think Nemanja Matic is like Rice? Anyone see a similarity there?
I'm not saying Nemanja Matic is definitely right.
No.
I think Declan Rice is a lot more mobile.
Definitely. Better with both feet too.
Yeah, exactly.
Manchester was really good on that left, but
Declan Rice will be good in the air as well. So you see, like the Aston Villa game where Christensen came out of position. If something happens like that, or the Man United game last season where Christensen fell to the ground, Declan Rice can go slot in and be the third centre back as well, which is good because he is tall. He's good at heading as well.
Yeah, it could work because initially, weren't we supposed to buy Rice to be a centre back before we got Thiago Silva? Wasn't that supposed to be the plan?
But apparently, like a DM that we were going to push further back eventually.
I like this comment. Do you guys think we should have went with Party? I don't know because Party is like.
Yeah, Muller, we'll come back to your question. What was that? Big up Gem as well. Link's still there if you want to jump back on, G. Which one were you saying you wanted to highlight?
F1 Muller, the guy that said you guys should have gone with Party.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, apparently we wanted Party first, but we didn't end up getting him.
But you see with Party, would it not be like he would come up as well? I see him more as a player who can go up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but Lampard didn't want that. He wanted someone that could sit deep, so he wasn't like the perfect type of DM for him. That's why we ended up pulling out.
I feel like it
He's
would have
similar
been.
to Kante. To He's similar to
Hmm.
Kante. Yeah. We need someone that could sit alongside Kante because Kante likes to be all over the place. So and I actually like that about Kante. But I think a few people on Twitter is talking about Lampard is. I mean, Kante is finished. I still want to know because he has the best stats as a defense. I know that's the most important thing, but he has the best stats for a defensive midfielder in the Premier League. So how is he finished?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. What was the other question I wanted to add? Also, new guest, what are your thoughts on today's game, mate?
All I'm gonna say is it was Morecambe, so I'm not gonna go over the top. I said that in chat. I was like, we need to calm down a bit because it's Morecambe. I will call a plastic fan for saying that it's Morecambe. We need to relax. So like, all I think is good performance. One and Havertz, good confidence. Ziyech played well in the second half, and Callum Hudson-Odoi has to be starting next game.
Hudson-Odoi definitely has to be starting next game. What did you feel about any of the thoughts that we've been saying over the last 10 minutes? Anything you agree or disagree on?
No, I just agree with most of it.
Go on.
But like, no, I just have one issue, and this is not with you. This is just in general, and it's mainly at rival fans. People like Arsenal fans who say rent-free and stuff like that. When they come to our chat and they go, "Oh, we're rent-free in your head," but then you can say that when you see me go to AFTV or Troops or DT or something like that and say, "Oh, Chelsea," then you can say that. But you're coming to our fan base and saying that like we're rent free in your head, so like kind of doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly here. That I don't get why people are saying, "Oh, we're rent free in their head," when I've got bare Arsenal fans in my chat. That you're all there. Of course, we're going to end up eventually talking about Arsenal. But yeah, I'll move on to this question. If we don't get any more questions, we might end this a bit earlier. But what do you think about Edouard Mendy? Great goalkeeper, or are you starting to be a bit worried about the last few performances?
Last few performances, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Lewis. Yeah, it was a bit sus at times, but you know, at this current time, man, it's just happened. It's not mainly his fault. The fact that we got outdone by proper Arsenal. I think the way that we played in that day was really poor. But it's not Edouard Mendy's fault. Against Man City, it's not his fault as well. Aston Villa, maybe a little bit, but you know, he has some ups and downs. It will come good. It happens to the best, though. I think he's a good keeper.
I personally never wanted Mendy, if I'm being 100% honest. I was actually a bit surprised when we signed him because my go-to would have been All Black, but he was way too expensive. Or if it wasn't him, it would have been Donnarumma. And I'm seeing something the other day that we might rekindle our interest in Donnarumma. And I think that that's the case because I just think that Chelsea bought Mendy to give Kepa a push, so he can know that his place is not locked down to him. That someone else can come and take your place. But other than that, I don't think that if they set up football, if we're going to keep Lampard, if he stays, if he goes, we don't know. And he continues to play out for the back. I think that Mendy is going to be a liability in some games, especially with a team that presses you really high. I don't think when we're playing up for the back, he looks comfortable. His distribution is a bit inconsistent at times. He could pass up to the wings, actually pretty decent. But when he's going through the middle panel, he could kick out the ball through the middle. It doesn't look that great. So I think even when you pass the ball across the line against Marinelli, you don't do that. Keepers don't really do that when you're playing up from the back. So he does look a bit shaky when we're playing up from the back, and he got beat near post, and that's the keeper's bread and butter. So now I personally do think that we still need to go and get a top world-class goalkeeper because, for example, if we carry Mendy to the final and he makes a bad error, everyone is going to. For example, we made the Champions League final and let's say he pulls off a carry. We're just going to scream at him. So if we had like a Black or a Donnarumma that made an error like that, we're not going to like completely scapegoating because those keepers don't really make a lot of mistakes, but maybe he's starting to make a couple of mistakes. I personally think he's a decent keeper. He's better than Kepper, 100%, for sure. I think he's a decent keeper to have, but long term, I wouldn't keep him. I think we still need to go and get a top world class keeper. And I think that if Donnarumma is available for free, yeah, Mina Raiola is a difficult agent to work with, but just give him the money, let me get Donnarumma. I think we still need a top quality goalkeeper.
I think Mendy's good. I don't think he fell off, but there's two things he needs to work at. One is coming out from the box.
Yeah.
He gave away that penalty from against Everton, that time against Leeds. He needs to. It's too rash at times, and when you're playing, especially when you're playing a high line, you got to time them when you come out right, and also penalties as well. Like I don't want to judge him too much, but on penalties, like he hasn't dived the right way a single time. And when we go to cup competitions and we get to penalty shootouts, like you need to be confident that your keeper is gonna save at least one of them pens. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think he's made any. I think he's still a decent keeper. I don't think he's one of the world's best, but I think he's a decent keeper. To be honest,
I think with both of our keepers, Kepa and Mendy, we panic bought. The first time was Courtois left, and we didn't know he was gonna leave at that time. We just saw we had money now, so let's just buy Kepa. He looks good. The first season he was good, then he started getting bad, and then when he went bad, it wasn't just like he got worse. He got significantly worse. Then we had to go. We had to look out. We had Mendy. We didn't have time to look at his weaknesses and stuff like that. We just saw that he looks like a decent keeper, so we had to buy him. And then now we bought him, and now the same thing's happening again, where we see issues. The fan base is gonna say that look at these issues and all of that stuff. Then I think we're gonna panic buy another keeper. So what we have to do is we have to chill. We have to wait a bit, then actually properly look for a good keeper like Donnarumma or Oblak or someone like that who's world class.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean,
You're linked with that.
I don't think Mendy's. Well, obviously, I don't know how long Lampard's going to be in the job for, but I don't think he's his long-term solution as a goalkeeper. I think to begin with, I wouldn't say he was being overhyped as such, but you know, when a new goalkeeper comes in and he's doing the basic things right, obviously people were thinking back to some of the disasters Kepa's had this season. He was doing the basics right, so obviously you're going to think he's a stable option for the time being. So yeah, I think he's a decent goalkeeper from what I've seen, but I'd say the jury's still out as well. Need to see a lot more of him. Yeah.
I don't think he's a terrible keeper. I just don't think he's world class. But I think he's still a decent keeper. We can still go places with him if we if our defense goes to fully. You know what I mean? But yeah, what else was I gonna say?
All right, cool. We'll move on to this next question. If Lampard does get sacked, who is everyone's number one manager to come in and why? We're going to go around the table. Ryan, I'll start with you.
I have no idea. If we sack him right now, for to be sacked tomorrow, I think we should just get an interim to steady the ship and try to get top 4. But if we sack him at the end of the season, I don't know. Like I'm not convinced with Tuchel. I've heard good things about him, but I'm still not convinced on him. Allegri, I don't want to go back to that football. Nagelsmann, I like him, but I just don't think he's gonna come to us. Hassan Hutel, I don't think he's gonna come to us.
Nah.
But I don't have a number one option. This is why I'm skeptical of bringing in of sacking Lampard tomorrow. You know what I mean?
This is half of the Lampard out argument in itself. Yeah, we sack Lampard. Who do we bring in? And what style of play does he play? Are we going to go back into a transition?
I would happily sack Lampard like this season if there was a world class manager lined up after. But I don't want us to just sack Lampard and it's 10 days before the start of the season. We still don't have a manager. and then we get someone mediocre that we never heard about, and then 3 months into this rebuilding process, we're asking the same questions again, and then it gets to this manager out. You know what I mean? So if we do sack him, I don't have a number one option. To be honest, I'm not sold on any of the managers we're doing this.
All right, Fata, you were going to say something, so go on.
The problem is if you're gonna bring the new manager in, yeah, will the manager be backed by the board? That's my issue. We had this in the past with different manager, with Conte, with Sarri, and I remember that time when Conte, after Conte winning the Premier League in 2017, that he was gonna get his players in, but eventually he fell out with Roman and that, and then as a result, we get a player that Conte doesn't want to get. Bakayoko, Morata, who else? Drinkwater, Zappacosta. That's not his first choice, honestly.
That whole of that 2017-18 transfer window was just a
joke. It was a poor transfer window. But if Lampard had to be sacked, I'll probably go for Tuchel. That's because I think he could get something out of the players that we brought in, which was Werner and Havertz, correctly. So, and I think that would be better. But apart from Tuchel, I think everywhere he went, he had problems with the board, and he had that problem at PSG. Yeah, for some weird reason, I don't know why, because PSG always spends money with their managers. He had problems at Mainz because they had financial problems, which is understandable. Then he went on to Dortmund, and he had problems there as well. So that is a problem I have, because I know our board is a strict board, and he gets really toxic. But he's a good manager, and I think he could bring the best for the club. Another option that was available is Allegri, but I don't really want Allegri, because I think that he hasn't proved to me that he could work with a project, because he's always had like top players to work with his entire career. Like at Milan, this guy had Frank, had Paco, he had Maldini, Nesta. He had all these Seedorf. He had quality players. And then he went on to Juventus, and he inherited a squad that just keeps winning the Serie A every season. So he's proven to me as a manager that's for a project. But Tuchel, he was trying to do it at Dortmund, but they didn't give him the money that he wanted to do it. He went on to PSG. He didn't really get. He wanted a center back this summer, but Leonardo gave him that guy from Porto that plays defensive midfield. He played him at center back to just prove a point that he wants a center half, the partner Marquinhos. So I think if he comes shouting, the thing is with the board, the way our squad is right now, we don't even need to go spend much money. We don't need anything much. Maybe a center half in the summer, and that was always the plan. So I don't think it will fall out for not getting a center half. Because we can't keep Thiago Silva forever because he's getting older. So I think if we get Tuchel now, he has a really good squad to work with, and he's good for producing good young players. Look at Mbappe. I know he's generational, but look at Mbappe, bro. He has Mbappe at the top of his game. And people will say, oh, Mbappe doesn't need any coaching and all of that. Yes, he needs coaching. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. When he came to Manchester United, he couldn't even refer to not said it. He always had a powerful shot. They didn't have the placement. And Sir Alex Ferguson, that coaching helped him to become a great player he is today. Messi, when he was coming through, was very, very weak. He's not the strongest of players now, but he's a bit stronger now, isn't he? So, yeah, all that talk about, that you're good from young and you don't need any coaching to become great, that is bollocks, bro. That is absolute bollocks. Look what he did with Mbappe. If you could come here and do that with a Kai Havertz, he's German, you'd get something out of him. So Tuchel is a good candidate. And I think another option this summer that could become available is Nagelsmann. But I personally don't want Nagelsmann because he's just another Lampard 2.0 to me, but he's better than Lampard. 100% he's better than Lampard.
Wait, Lampard 2.0, but he's better than Lampard?
No. Just hear me out. I'm trying to say we're trying to say this. We want to go for an experienced manager because if you sack Lampard, what's the sense of getting another manager that's not that experienced and hasn't really done that much? I want a top manager like Tuchel. He didn't win anything major in his career besides the French league, and like anyone can win that with PSG. But he did make the Champions League final, and that midfield that he carried. How do you make a Champions League final with Ander Herrera and Idrissa again in midfield? I don't know, but somehow they got it done. And I think that he could come to Chelsea and he'll have all the players he needs. Because if Tuchel comes here now, what does he have to go and buy? Nothing. Probably another DM, and it's another luxury if you go and get another winger that we were trying for in the summer. But the two of those signings, a DM isn't really a necessity. Neither is a winger, so he has a really good squad to work with.
All right, cool. Anyone else thoughts on what manager they bring in?
Yeah. Like talking about availability is too short, but he is a home wrecker, and he'll probably leave the club in a worse place financially, and just like clashes between players and the coaching staff. But one player that a manager no one said is, well, I would love him. He's not available, but it's Flip from Bayern. We'll have to give a lot to get him, but if we do get him, I believe he can build a good.
We will not get him, bro.
No, we will not get him, bro. 100%. We will not get him.
He's gonna.
He's leaving the just one
He's not gonna leave the best team in Europe for us, man. The good manager, I'll take him in a heartbeat, but it just ain't happening. Once the other is gone, you guys realistic you want to replace him with.
I think Tuchel is really good at working with the young players, and we have a very young squad. And look what he did with Pulisic, brought him through. Look what he did with Dembele. Yeah, Dembele is injury prone. Yeah, Pulisic is injury prone, but they're quality players. And look what he did with Mbappe. He's always really good with working with younger players. That's why PSG got him in because the project, that whole project that Tuchel was trying to do, he was trying to build a team around Mbappe and Neymar, and that's exactly what he did because they brought him in because they needed a good manager that's good with to get the best out of Kylian Mbappe. That's gonna know him. That's gonna know how to develop him into being a world class player. And that's exactly why they got in the Tuchel project was initially supposed to be built around Mbappe and Neymar. He got that done, but he still didn't get all the players that he needed to fulfill the philosophy. And it's just unfortunate what happened at PSG. But I'll take him in a heartbeat because 100% he's better than Lampard. And I watch PSG and they don't cross each other. So I just want a manager that know what they're doing. Or if you know the things about Lampard, he tends to change up some things when it comes to personnel, but when it comes to tactically, he doesn't really do it. So maybe if he changed, because I posted this on my Snapchat like because that was a football story that I posted on a couple of my friends here in Barbados. And I said I said a couple of points. If you do happen to play players in their correct position, he started doing that well with playing Vernon. This is 2 games in a row that he's played Vernon for the middle, but we're gonna have to see if he's gonna play a 10 versus Fulham. If he changes, if he starts being so stubborn and play Cho, he did that. I give him thing for that, but I'm still concerned about the crossing and the one-dimensional style of play. We need to start transitioning more from midfield, like what we were doing last season. I don't get this, like last season we were playing really good football, I don't get
this time we've completely regressed.
I don't know why. That's really strange. I've never heard of a team that didn't have good players a season
but
before.
we've gone through that plenty of times. We know that it's a problem with the system and the players are also playing like bums as well. It's a little bit of both.
I think last season, Tyrese, we just rotate the formation. That's why we had this like 3-month pre-season. That's because we have players that have to keep
one more time.
Formation. And also the fact that we also had a long pre-season as well, like maybe like a month of trying to work out, trying to change tactic formation and that. That's why we were so unpredictable last season. And the fact that we gained more points against, well, actually we only lose like about 4 times last season against top 6 side. You can't deny that, really, because honestly, yeah,
exactly. We've picked up what 2 points against the big 6 teams this season, and people are saying we haven't regressed. Furthermore, the reason why he sort of adapted the formations last season were to accommodate players like Marcus Alonso, because you could see if he played at the conventional left back role, it'd be caught out countless times. When you bring him into a left wing back role, you've got his attacking qualities, and also if he does get caught out, you've also got a centre half behind him to help out. So that's if you put him in the team this season. Well, we had him at the start of the season. West Brom, absolute stinker. Since then, we haven't even seen him. You know.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. I would back Lampard 100%. Like if he goes back to the thing is, right, as I said just now, we were playing better football with a mediocre side. Maybe some fans will say, "Oh, that clearly shows he's not a coach for this level and stuff." But he has enough common sense to know, and he's worked with some of the best. He's played with some of the best players we've ever seen in our lives, and he's done that for many years. So I don't know that he knows how to handle big players, but I just think that his philosophy. He couldn't get that done last season because he didn't have a left back that can cross well, and he didn't really have a right back because James that was up and coming. That his crossing was as good as it is now, but it was good. It was still good though. So he waited till James developed a little bit more to have him as that crossing fullback, which is fair, but. If you're doing that, like I don't have a problem with my fullbacks crossing them. I have a problem with us not creating a lot of chances from midfield, and also we have forced the ball for the entire season, which is a bit embarrassing. I don't know if it changed today. I'm probably have to. That's really embarrassing. It's really weird. It's really weird. With this philosophy that he's trying to implement from just crossing. But I always said, if he does happen to fix the problems that we're going through, like we're creating a lot of chances from midfield, and he's lucky that we have a good midfield to do that. I would give him another chance, but for right now, I'm still Lampard 100% though. But this question is really good though. This question is really good. Once Thiago Silva's gone,
yeah, bless, bro. Take care, Ryan.
Alright, there you guys.
That's a good.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, later, bro.
All right, cool. You know what? We're going to go through one more question, then we're going to wrap this up. Once Thiago Silva's gone, who do you guys realistically want to replace him with?
Upamecano. Not going to lie, I think he's going to be the prospect of the future world football. Upamecano for me.
Okay. Anyone else thinking any other names?
Upamecano to me, you have to study it because if you put them alongside Zuma, they're really similar. They're a bit too like rash. I prefer a composed. I prefer an aggressive center half, and then a composed one alongside them. They always is now in modern football. Who I would go for is just a no-brainer. It's Marquinhos. He plays just like Thiago Silva. It's basically his regen. He's good on the ball. He's composed. He reads the game really well. He tackles really well. So yeah, he's just a perfect replacement for Thiago Silva. It'd be easy to get because Silva would probably convince him to join us. I don't know. Maybe if he actually doesn't do well this season, and we do happen to buy a center half this summer instead of 2022, we could probably attract Marquinhos to this club. It's Premier League football, and he plays just like Thiago Silva to me. So I think he's a perfect replacement.
Right, Calm. We got any other names?
No, I couldn't give you a name off the top of my head, to be honest. But
okay, that's fair.
To be honest, right? I know the obvious contenders is we have to go for someone who's world class, household name. You look at other teams. I'm not saying I'd have these players as such. You look at other teams like Leicester, for instance. That what's the geezer's name has just come in, Fofana, right? 19 years old, lighting up the Premier League already. He hasn't got bags of experience. He had a season or two at Saint Etienne, right? But he already looks composed. For a 19-year-old, the guy looks like he's been playing football for years. You know, alongside him, Johnny Evans, again, experienced player, not the most glamorous of players. It wouldn't be first on my list. Say, all right, definitely get Johnny Evans. He's an experienced defender. No nonsense. You know, them two make a good partnership. It's not always the obvious contender like an Upamecano or another world-class defender. Oh, we have to bring him in. You know, sometimes you could get someone who's half decent who can form a partnership.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. I mean, I can't give you a name, you know, straight off the bat. But yeah, that's all I'll say. It doesn't have to be someone who's, you know, overpriced, world class, or someone who's even past it, but we'll get him because of what he's done for years. Like, yeah, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think Thiago Silva would do as well as he's done so far. But
to be honest, I thought it'd be like at this level, even for next season. I think we'd still have Thiago Silva at this point.
But this is what I mean. You could get a player like him, who's done well, you know, been world class for the last 10 years or whatever. He could come to the Premier League. You know, it's a different ball game. You know, no, I wouldn't have Vestergaard. No, I can't tell whether he's taking the piss or not. But
muted for spamming anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be someone we don't expect. I mean, let's say Malang Sarr comes back next season. Who knows? We don't know who the manager's going to be. We don't know which players. For all you know, right? You think about how many times Lampard's changed the defenders since he's been there. He's had Tomori playing, he's had Christensen, he's had Rudiger, he's had Zuma. Another manager comes in, Zuma might not be playing. Christensen could be it. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I got the AC Hive.
Do you know what I mean? It's like no one knows. It really depends on who the manager is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because Tuchel said that if he comes, he's trying to build. Yeah, he's interested in three players, which is Havertz, Werner, and Rudiger, which is fairly obvious because he's German.
Rudiger, interesting.
Yeah, Rudiger was actually
Jordan's going to be smiling hearing that.
Actually, I'm actually not really. I actually like Rudiger. You know, like a lot of Chelsea fans give him a lot of stick because of his performances last season. But I think Rudiger didn't really have a preseason. You know, last season he didn't really have a preseason because he was injured. He didn't really have that preseason. He didn't play any football prior to that Europa League. He didn't even play in the Europa League final because he hurt his foot, didn't he?
Who?
He was on Rudiger. He was on crushes in the Europa League final.
Christensen played.
Yeah, and I don't think getting rid of Rudiger is good for us because we can clearly tell that he's really influential in the dressing room. And you need to keep players like that around, like Milner. Milner isn't the same player at Liverpool, isn't the same player he used to be, but he's good in the dressing room at Liverpool. So that's the reason why Klopp says he's a very important player. I want to get rid of Rudiger, bro. I don't think he's that washed to say, yeah, to remotely, bro. I think he's a decent player, bro, because if Barcelona wants him, Barcelona has declined a bit. Why we're going to get rid of him? Keep him. I actually like Rudiger. He's only 27.
I think we've got a good band of defenders, to be honest. Even with the ones still coming through, like Sarr and Mbuyamba, we've got a great band of centre-backs.
Yeah, and Rudiger, every time he got an opportunity, apart from Christensen now, who I think personally should be sold, Rudiger actually puts in a decent shift all the time. He didn't have any bad games when he was selected this season, but Christensen has. So I think that's clear to show now that Christensen should be the one that's going to be leaving, not Rudiger. I actually like Rudiger. I thought that based on on the character he is, I thought he was actually going to be our future captain because he's vocal. I'm a fan of Rudiger, a big fan of Rudiger. I think that he can come good. He's a good squad player for sure, 100%. And he's a German international, but yeah, a good squad player.
All right, cool. Any final thoughts, guys? And then we're going to end the live stream.
How do you lot think we'll do against Fulham then on Friday?
Just better win.
Better win. I'm predicting a 3-0.
Not gonna lie, this game is under massive pressure from Lampard. If he doesn't deliver, like It's gonna be a long night for us though on Friday night. Though. What game is it? Is it Friday? Is it Friday?
Friday, 8 o'clock.
We're gonna beat Fulham, man. Hopefully.
We should beat Fulham.
We should.
Hopefully. The emphasis is on hopefully because
hopefully, but
we've picked up 4 points in the last 5 games, and so have they. Actually, they've actually drawn their last 4 games in a row. So obviously,
my gosh,
yeah,
well,
exactly.
Well, I would give some faith. I just want to. I'm going to be on a special watch for Burnham Havertz because they said I think that they're going to pick up form in this second half of the season. And Fulham is a perfect game to go and do that. Their defensive record is woeful, so we could go there and spank them up if we need to. But yeah, I'm expecting a comfortable win.
I just hope
cool.
the right team for the right tactics.
Wait,
like,
Kazilla here. Final thoughts. Wait, go on. You finish off your point. Go on.
Like, if Lampard is going to keep playing his cross, inshallah, reshaped, inshallah football, then we have to put Giroud up front. But if he wants to start playing through, like, with the midfield, then we need Havertz, and we can put Timo and Tammy that can attack the space that they have.
Yes, we always play the cross system anyway, so I think it's got to be Giroud that starts. But I don't think the front 3 I want is going to start anyway, so I'm just going to
exactly, Lewis. Exactly.
I think it's going to stay.
Whatever 3 we play.
Like I said to you earlier, there's 3 things that are certain in life. One of them is Timo Werner to start every single game.
It's just please play him on the right if you have to, or play him up front if we're going to play a different system. But we'll have to wait and see. Guys, I hope you lot have enjoyed the live phone-in. It's an optimistic one. We actually haven't lost this one, so thank God. We'll see you guys for the next one on Friday after the Chelsea-Fulham game, which let's hope isn't a loss because I don't want to be here till 7 a.m. going through that BS. But until then, guys, take care. Like and subscribe to Jeffrey Lewis G, and up the Chelsea.